Hello and welcome to episode 15. Do you want to do all the hands? You can do them. You can do them.
You notice it now.
I can notice it. Of the Late Night Serial podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about retro gaming and nostalgia. So all the stuff about video games and toys and all stuff from the 80s and 90s. But we always kick it off by talking about some cereal. So what have you got? I went all out. I wasn't going to do it, but I went all out and got something I really want to get.
I'm looking to spoon down. I didn't break everyone's earlobes there.
Right. Okay, let's see. Have you got something special? Even though you had those cinnamon ones?
Yeah, do you know what, right? Before I show you these ones,
okay.
I have been, of that other ones, I've got proper addicted to them. Every night I come home from work, I'm like, as soon as I get in, I go, I fancy a bowl of that cereal. It's really bad. I've been having
Is it a cheeky bowl, is it? It's definitely a cheeky bowl. Yeah.
And I have it, if I have a small bowl, that's okay. It's okay, a little
small bowl, yeah.
But that seems to be every night this week. So,
oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is. Late night cereal is the best, isn't it?
It's true.
So what have you got today?
Today's one. Well, see if you can see what it is first of all. You might pick up on it.
Right. So I'm going to explain this to anyone listening. It looks like dog food. No, it looks like Choco Hoops.
Sort of.
I was looking at those today.
Cheerio.
What?
Ones. Yes.
Cheerios do chocolate Cheerios.
Yeah, we found these in. I get it wrong every time. It's either B&M or the other one, Aldi. It's one of those two.
One of them.
Yeah.
Wow. I've never seen this. I've never seen this.
Well, that's why I picked these up the same day as the
oh my God.
As the Captain Crunch ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, these it's.
I like the hot.
One side. Oh, that's the wrong side. That's like,
how does that help lower cholesterol? Chocolate cereal.
Yeah, I doubt it. But yeah, it's
by not eating these, we'll
yeah, but it has a weird little shape thing. Just sort of say, yeah, but
if you have one or none,
yeah. But there you go. Yes, that's the new one. I haven't tried these yet.
I nearly bought because I was like, I want to get a fancy cereal. I nearly bought some. I was in Tesco and I was like, and I was looking at the cereal and it's so expensive, the cereal. Oh, and I nearly went out and just bought Choco Hoops, but their version of it, which would have been the same as that. But I bought these instead, and I haven't had these for years. And I was like, okay, I've gone all out. And they're the tiniest box that they come in.
That looks like mushy dog food.
It looks like mushy dog food. This, my friend, is honey nut clusters.
Oh, I like clusters. Yeah, I'm a fan of the clusters.
Clusters were my fauvorite cereal growing up. You know, the proper brown ones with the little squirrel and all that. I'm gonna eat on these while you can talk about it. I'm hungry. Honestly, mate, I haven't eaten all day. I streamed, then I made some YouTube videos, and I've come to this. So
I thought you were going for a walk. Or rather, I went for
a little walk to get fresh. But I've honestly been on it all day, so I need to eat some of this while you talk about stuff. Go on.
Yeah. So cereal. Yeah. I like the packaging. The only thing that makes it a bit bland is that it's got one side in English there. But also it has, I don't even know what language the other one is. French, maybe? I don't know. And then it's got like the same thing on the other side, but in another language.
So is there any, this is not like a UK version of this?
Well, that's it. Well, it's got, you can tell it from, it's like the import of like Captain Crunch. The actual, what do you call it? The fibre facts, nutrition facts. It has a different sticker. So you've got like the actual original one, and then you have like the UK like regulations one over the top of that. So it's part of the import one. So I'm assuming it's obviously an import version.
Because I don't think we're allowed to call them chocolate over here, or allowed to have chocolate in them. That's why they're called choco, because they're flavoured.
Oh,
so that's why flavoured top. Because that's like got real cocoa in it, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, and also it says at the bottom, right? We've got this picture here, right? It's got on the bottom of it. Enlarged to show texture, because people think they're like the size of that. But they're not far off though. Look, there's one. Look, it's not far off from real size comparison. You know,
but AB.
There you go.
What spoon is that, by the way?
What's that?
Little spoon on the front of the box. What's that?
Oh, a wooden spoon. Yeah, why would you? Oh God, imagine trying to eat cereal with wooden spoon. Oh, it makes my teeth go weird. No, I can't do that.
No.
Well, what you do is that's brown sugar. So what you do is you get a massive teaspoon or a massive tablespoon of brown sugar, and you pour it over your chocolate.
Wait a minute, that is, isn't it? That is literally brown sugar, right?
Oh, I don't know. Actually, I was just joking. I think it's
No,
just
what is
cocoa
it?
powder.
Oh, cocoa powder. Oh, yeah, cocoa
Yeah,
powder.
I was just taking Mickey because of how much sugar I had.
That is kind of like
cereal
your
back in
youth,
the
though.
day.
You would have done that.
Yeah, I'd had about 3 of them probably. I probably would. I probably would have got the whole like packet and gone. Right, is it all gone? A little bit left in the packet, gone. But also today, whilst he's eating the cereal, there it
I
is.
finished it.
And Steve remembers, but he left his one downstairs, so that's why he hasn't got it with him right now. But it's Comic Relief Day. See how long it keeps on my nose before it hurts. But they're actually rubber as well for a change. Normally they're in plastic, where they used to like dig into your nose. That's a very tiny one.
This is Merman's Pearl of Power. Can that work?
If you can stick it to your nose for the entire,
I could probably put it up there, but then
I never keep on for very long. That's actually quite.
Can I have a look at that? Can I a little closer?
Well, this
Oh,
one.
I'm gutted
It's
actually. I completely forgot.
And the reason why it also shows off, this is technically retro because this is the 2000s version. Because what they're doing this year, and I've got the box here as well.
90s.
They're celebrating 10 years. I think it's like 40th years of Red Nose Day. But they're doing 2 lots of things. You've got a 80s.
Oh,
like,
wow.
You are getting 80s one because it's random what you're going to get. 80s or you got a noughties one.
Where do you buy Red Noses now?
It was Amazon.
Oh,
Amazon seems to stock it. They're like the official sponsor.
So is it today then?
Yes.
I haven't seen any. This is terrible for me. I have not seen any advertisement for this at
Yeah,
all.
but then it's on BBC. How much do you watch TV now?
Like not. Oh yeah.
Exactly. Even BBC iPlayer don't really show stuff off unless it's another program on.
I used to watch the hell out of all that years ago. It was
Yeah,
like it was
all the comedy sketches
in school.
and stuff.
It was amazing, wasn't it? When we were in school, and they used to do things in school for like little shows. I was in like a band thing and got up and did Oasis and all that stuff back in the day. It was brilliant.
Oh, because these are the 2000, which I went rubbery. But then you had the one, and the one I wanted to get, which is actually, I can't believe it's 90s. Do you remember the one that's got little tiny hands coming out the side?
Yeah.
Of the nose?
Oh God, yeah.
That was a 90s one.
What?
I'm like, no, it's not.
That felt like
apparently
last
it was.
week.
Yeah, I know.
God.
But what it is, my nan used to collect all these. She used to get every single one. I don't know whatever happened to them all, but yeah, she used to collect every single one.
How much did they cost?
So, I don't know. Danny ordered them. I think they're about £1.
Oh, really?
And that was including postage and stuff.
Yeah, that's actually really good, isn't it? You'd expect
cool,
more.
Look.
Yeah, it is. That's
good.
good.
It's got 90 stuff in it.
Do you know what? I'm surprised I'm not seeing like streamers. But it's the same as us. I didn't know about it, but I've seen like streamers do like Red Nose Day streams, and we're all wearing noses.
Well, to be honest, it's only because Daniel told me about it. Even I was out of the loop with it. But also, it's weird because America has Comic Relief, but they have it a completely different day.
Yeah.
So it makes it quite random that when it comes around to our one.
Yeah, it's like Mother's Day, isn't it?
Odd.
It's really weird.
Yeah,
so they completely different day.
But also, I can't show them now because I haven't got with me, but I've shown them at some point. They do enamel pins that are, again, 90s and 80s and stuff.
That's cool.
And the one that Danny ordered, it's got a little enamel pin of a cassette, a roller skate, and then a Red Nose Day with the ear on it, and another nose on there. So it's a cool little set.
When I think back to it, like I always think of Hale and Pace, their song.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Red nose on you can't. Or after,
oh God, yeah.
And it was the Bananarama one. Did they do a version of Help? Was that for Comic Relief? Sometimes I get mixed up with that and the other one.
Well, they also did a lot of T-shirts with, I can't remember who the company was. Was I thinking Primark? One of them two. They had ones. I've still got my T-shirt. I couldn't find it to wear it today, but they did a Blackadder set. So they had one was Queenie with a nose on it. One of them had Blackadder on. What's that?
A new one? Is this a new
No,
one?
these are from a few years back.
Oh, I'm going to say
but we had to get them. But they sold out really quickly.
Blackadder, brilliant.
And they were brilliant. So, and this year, they'll be your favourites. They're Wallace and Gromit, because I know you love Wallace and Gromit.
I love Wallace and Gromit. Do you know what?
Don't worry,
everyone watching now is going to be like, what? You don't like Wallace and Gromit? I'm sorry. I know I'm British. I'm supposed to like Wallace and Gromit.
How do you not like it?
I think it's, I don't know. I did try Christmas. I'll tell everyone. I'm going to watch it. And at 5 minutes, I was just so bored. I'm going to give them a proper watch at some point.
I would say, especially the new movie, it's really well done.
Yeah.
It's for me, for them.
It's just so slow and drawn out,
But then when all things kick off, it's just amazing. It's like the one sketch you must find amazing where One is, I think Gromit's chasing after the bad guy. Which one? I can't remember which one it was now. He's on a train and he's quickly building the track in front of him.
Oh,
And
I don't
basically,
remember that.
while he's chasing this other one, he's putting new bits of track in front.
Yeah.
And this is all animated. It looks like he's going at full speed. And you think,
Yeah.
wait a minute, how are they filming, moving along?
It is incredible. It's an amazing
achievement.
It's an amazing achievement, but I don't know. There's something about it.
You don't appreciate it, do you?
I think because it starts off so slow. I think it's the actual story and that, like how they make it incredible. But you know, it's every time I tune into it, it's always like they're at the dinner table, breakfast table, and Wallace is like, "Hey, Gromit, pass the butter, will you?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Maybe put it in slow motion on YouTube. I've gone.
Maybe I'll speed it up. I'll speed it up and put 3 times.
There you go.
As fast.
Yeah,
hey, Gromit, pass the butter. All right, yeah, here you go. He doesn't talk, does he, little dog?
That's in the episode. Yeah. That's it. That's the whole thing. So quick.
But segueing from Wallace and Gromit and Red Nose Day.
There you go.
I also want to say, by the way, that cereal, I haven't had that since I was a kid, or the Quill stuff, because it's not the same. Clusters aren't the same. They're not the same like branding or anything like that.
No, they changed, didn't they? Even though it's got clusters,
it's honey not clusters. But they say that was honestly, that's the first time throughout this whole every time we've done this. Yeah, I've eaten every bit. That was so good. I'm like, oh, the box is like this big. It's so tiny.
Oh, do you know what? Anything that's got the cluster type of thing, they make small boxes. You have about 3 bowls, normal size bowls, and it's gone. You go,
it's gone. I didn't have that much, but it was like mainly because I was doing the podcast. I didn't want to be sitting there eating it all the way through. But yeah, you're right. It's the box is so small and it's expensive, and I thought,
that's the problem. You kind of get it. You go, well, I like that, but then you mean I don't want to spend that money again because I literally had 3 bowls out of it.
No,
mine as well. Are they ready?
I think Linda will have it as well, and she'll go, oh, I'll have a big bowl of this. I'm like, I'll come back and it's gone.
Ration it.
She'll think it was like 99p or something because that's why I bought it. I was like, oh no, it wasn't. But anyway, going from the woes of our cereal to or somehow, like, I don't know, we somehow got into a battle in Tomb Raider, haven't we? It's kind of a crossover for Tomb Raider. We're both playing Tomb Raider at the moment. I'm playing the Switch version, which is the remastered version. And you know what? I know it's terrible, isn't it? It's terrible, the fact that I have to I get confused with the saving all the time. You just got it so much easier.
Yeah. Half a dozen times I'm at work and I go, out loud, because I see what you've done. I guess the word load and save is very complicated.
Is it the same? Is it the same kind of loading screens that you've got in yours?
Even though it's literally identical. That's identical. The only difference is with mine, I can't have multiple saves like yours. Literally, we have one for the beginning of a level that's automatic.
Oh, because the set places, aren't they?
And you've got maybe 2 to 3 crystals per level, if you're lucky. There's more than 2. But when you save on that crystal, it doesn't create a new save file. It'll overwrite any other save file you've got for that level. Yeah. So if there's 3 gems or 3 crystals, and say you've already got one at one part of a level, then later on you find another one further down.
Are you saving a location rather than like making a save? So there's multiple crystals, and if you basically, if you save there, you're saving that location, but if you save it there, you're saving that location. Is that how it works?
Essentially, yeah. But then you have that kind of dilemma. You go, right, do I now go to this save now, or do I carry on a bit further, get some keys or whatever, then come back and save it? But then if you don't, you die.
Yeah,
you've lost that progress, but then you don't want to save too early, so it's quite.
I don't want to do that.
Quite scary. Yeah.
I mean, and you compare that to me, who've got a bit of an easier time. Let's be honest. I could save wherever I want. And you know what though? If I was playing the way you're playing it, I would definitely have a more frustrating time. And I don't know if I'd enjoy it as much. Like, I'm dying loads of times, but I'm really having fun with it, like, so much.
I'm glad. It doesn't, even them bits you mess up. Yeah. Once you learn how, like, one bit, I spent like 2 hours on one section, and then I died, and I do it again, and I was like, but did it again. I did it in 10 minutes.
Yeah, because you'll know.
So I knew where I was going.
Yeah,
because but you get to experiment more. In your
I don't think it's really a game that warrants that you need to have limited saves, because it's still about exploration. Like, I'm stuck on a bit now where I don't know where the switch is, and I just like, I'm on about stage 11. I'm in Egypt, and I think you're like on the last stage apparently, which is
Yeah, I'm on the last
apparently
stage, but not the last, because they break them up in segments.
Yeah.
So I'm on the last level, but like, I don't know, part 2 of that level, I think.
So you're near enough. You're probably going to be finished in the next stream or two. I'm aiming to beat it next week. That's the plan.
Yeah.
And I'm
It would
really
be
enjoying
good if
it.
we can time that, because then we can both talk about our own
That's a good idea,
experience, really.
That's a good idea.
You
Like,
know.
the bit was shocking for me is like, obviously I was talking about last time with the T-Rex. And then this time with the Bleach Centaur thing, I didn't expect like some supernatural element in it because I've never seen any of that. I've seen like animals and stuff, and I expected to be more like that. That's all. Every time I've seen people playing Tomb Raider, it's always with mines or stuff like that. So I was shocked
the
when I saw
wolves,
dinosaurs
dogs, or whatever, and all that lot.
And now you see like mummified dogs and all and cats.
Yeah, the
and
weird
things.
mummies were like them long dangly legs and arms. I don't know what they are, but
yeah, it's bizarre. And again, like I was saying last week, I didn't realise that was all split up into different sections, different tombs or whatever. So that's been quite fun. I'm really enjoying it. Like, how are you getting on with it? Are you still frustrated with it, or?
No, I really love. The only time I get a bit scared is when I go back. I think I said it before though, but when I go back to it, and I can't quite remember what I last doing. It's like being thrown into a room, and you're like, now get on with it, and you're like,
it doesn't hold your hand, does it?
Or it doesn't. There's no indication, and again, that dread I always get, which you get as well, is you put a switch, you hear a noise. You don't know what you've done.
Sometimes it shows.
Goes, this door.
Yeah,
you know,
and like you've never even seen before. Like, well, where's that?
Where's that?
What's that?
Yeah.
I've never been there. Yeah, that happens all the time, and sometimes I'm kind of annoyed with it. Okay, cool, I'm on the right way. This is a new path, and then you hear that secret sound. You go, oh, because I think.
Yeah, do you know what? Like, some people go, oh, brilliant, a secret. I go, oh, it's a secret. I want to get to the key.
You want to get the key, and you obviously just go into a place to pick up a few bullets, and it's like, well, and now I've got to go and find an actual place to go.
Yeah, because you think, right, you've got your focus, right, I'm going in this direction, there's something up there. You go up to that bit, you think, right, that's what I've got to do. You've got to get the item, and then go backtrack, get to this other door, and use a key. And when you hear that secret sound, you go, now I'm back to square one.
Oh.
What do I do now? Where do I go? But it's the thing today that got me, I can't believe I was shocked by it, was you were going through the menus, and you scrolled through and large Medipack? What's that? I was like,
I haven't explored any of the menu. I've realised that today. Because I just go to the same thing. There's a Medipack.
Yeah.
And then I go down to save. And that's all I do. I think I've moved over to glasses once and never even clicked on it.
Yeah.
But, and then I moved over, moved left or right, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And there's a large Medipack. And I had like 19. And I was like, what's this?
Yeah.
I mean, it's because I can save a lot. That's probably helped me out. Where you've had to because you'd probably have to lose a lot more lives or whatever, getting to where you want to get to.
Using big. I try and use the big ones when I'm really low.
Yeah.
Like if I do a jump and I don't want to redo a bit again, I think I know I want to progress a bit more on this certain save. I'll use a big Medipack. But it is quite strange because you think you'd have just a Medipack and that's it. Yeah. But it's kind of handy because you get a load of little ones, and then the big ones are more the bonus ones you've probably found through the secret areas and things like that.
Yeah, that's
that happens quite a lot. And you didn't realise it because you went, oh, it's got a Medipack. Oh, well.
I found for the majority of the game, anytime you're fighting something, more often than not, there's always that you come in and you're on a platform, you can just shoot them from the top.
I'm exactly the same. Yeah. I don't rush in action style and leap around. I go,
just use your normal guns.
Stay here and shoot.
Yeah, because I loaded up my magnums today and I had like 1,000 bullets, and I was like, Jesus, because I'm not using them because every time I get to a platform, I'm just like shooting from the top. And there's one area today where I had to fight these two enemies, mummies, but then I found out I didn't have to fight them, so I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, the Magnum, they're super generous with bullets. Even when I've been using it, I still had like 400 bullets left.
Yeah, because they're not as fast as you think they're going to be. I thought they were going to be like, I don't know, a lot more faster, but they're not.
But they are a lot more powerful. When you go into later enemies that takes a lot more bullets to kill, using a Magnum compared to even the Uzis, it's completely different.
I haven't found the Uzi yet.
I bet you found bullets though, haven't you?
Yeah, I found a few bullets.
That's why I didn't mind saying, because I thought you found bullets.
Yeah, I feel like I've just missed my chance somewhere. Yeah, somewhere. But I'm really enjoying it.
Apparently you can get them quite early, the Magnums. I missed them. And I think you missed them as well.
I probably did. I got them remember, I don't know if you remember, but I did some crazy jump to get to them. And I was like very proud of myself because everyone was like, no, we're going to be able to get these. That's for experts. I was like, well, and then to stay there for half an hour because I'm going to make sure I do this. That made me feel real good. I really want to get a Lara Croft figure now. I don't know what it is. I've spent so much time. Have you got one? Although you just looked over there.
You know what? There's one. It's actually Danielle's. Oh, I haven't got it to hand now.
What is it? A NECA
got
figure?
A little action figure from the 90s of Lara.
Nice.
I'll put it on PlayStation games.
I think it's because I've been playing it for like the last couple of weeks, or I don't know, it's 2 or 3 weeks now. I've spent a lot of time, and I don't know, never really thought about Tomb Raider and Lara Croft. I've seen the movies years ago, but now I've just got to, I don't know, I'm just really in love with it. I think it's great.
It's like it's when like people tell you about a series that you go, oh, you'll love this, and you go, you acknowledge it's good. Yeah. You know that people love it, but you don't really have that same passion for it, and you don't really think nothing of it. It's and then once you've played it, you suddenly want to say to everybody, "Oh, this is really good. This is."
And and they're gonna be like, "Of course."
Yeah, I know. We told you.
And there's gonna be so many. Like the Crash Bandicoot's probably one of those. But
you will love it. You will love that.
All these 3D kind of platformer games, I just I was never drawn to them years ago. Never, and I kind of am now. I'm spending a year going,
probably because you feel like you have more patience. Because I was very bad as a child with patience. Even though you got more time, I was quite impatient with games. Even that had passwords and things, I didn't do a very good job to rather sticking with stuff.
Yeah,
and new things would come out. But
I found it change as well. To be honest, because I was streaming a lot. Because last year I did 100 games, and the majority of those were all 2D. I did like Resident Evil for the first time. I was made up with that, and I thought that was great. And that gave me a bit of a taste. And I should do some more of these type of games, and then do Mario 64, and then do this. And then there's loads more that's ahead of me now. Like obviously Resident Evil 2 at some point I've got to try. It's weird, isn't it? Because you do this podcast, and then majority of the time we talk about games we've never played, which everyone else has played, which is bizarre, isn't it? Like,
you think, people
are like, what the hell are you guys? We never played any of these games. But we played a lot of other stuff. Do you know what I mean?
We had alternative versions, like, playing Crash Bandicoot that everyone played on the sun, except for probably me and you, the only ones, apparently. And I played a demo, and that was it. And then when I played the full game, I was like you with Tomb Raider, going, "Oh my god, this is great! This is brilliant!"
I should have played it.
Yeah, we know.
Well, definitely, because I grew up and I was like, I just loved the Atari and Specky and the NES and stuff, all of that up to that like a very early 90s, and I kind of fell off a little bit, and now it's like, oh, I can go back and just enjoy all this stuff and all the retro inspired stuff that's coming out. It feels like a really good time, to jump back on all of these
especially
things.
When you can get it for other means, like you said, we got it on the Switch set instead, and all that lot. And at the end of the day, like playing the original version, the thing I quite unusual with what you're doing is that you're I like that you're playing it in the old graphics 90% of the time.
So dark. Do you know what? I love the way Lara looks and some of the
you want that, but in the other world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. The original one looks better. I mean, because the lighting is not as good in the original, I guess. It's not as like atmospheric. It just lights up everything. Do you know what I mean? But that's really helpful.
They try and be clever with putting shadows on stuff, but the problem is because you spend most of the time in caves, the light doesn't really have a natural source to go to.
No, and they've got like light boxes at the top, but that doesn't really do anything that much.
No.
I don't know, but it looks incredible most of the time. But I'll be honest, I'm more happy the fact that I've got a physical version of the first 3 games. That's what I'm more happy about, because I just grab that rather than going for a PlayStation or something like that nowadays. Because I'm not really. And we'll get into it later on. There's the whole thing about preservation and disc rot and all that stuff. But apart from that, what have you been playing?
I've completed the game. It's been a while since, because probably when you play larger games like Tomb Raider, anything's 3D, most of the time they're quite large. I recently completed on Monday. I finished Megaman Legends on the N64 or Megaman 64.
I didn't know you did that. I completed that. Wow, I must have missed that. How do you feel about being that?
I really liked it. A lot of people were going in going, "Oh, Emboss, you've been on this for a while," and I was like, "Oh no, don't say that." Oh no, and because I just got to it, it was quite late at this point. It was about like 1:30, and I'm like, it always seems to happen. I always get to the last boss, the last section on whatever game it is, and it's really late, and it's like, well, I could finish now, but if I could finish it tonight, I'll do it tonight rather than have that awkward time of starting it next week, playing it for about 10 minutes, then moving on to the next game.
Did you beat it first time? I've got a feeling you're going to say that.
Oh no, I did it on my third time.
Okay.
But the first time was I literally laughed out loud when I was doing it because I went in there with the boss and I can't really describe it properly, but basically he was launching his arms at me. These beams were coming over. Within about 3 seconds, me trying to know what's going to happen. I was dead. I went, what?
Oh,
I'm dead already?
Yeah,
And I just laughed because you know when you go into any boss battle,
yeah.
you freak out because you don't know what they're going to do.
You're overwhelmed
where
with
they're going to
all
go.
the actions, and you got no pattern or anything yet. Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Give me, like, help me out here, you know. And basically, once I picked up on the certain moves he did, or it's like again, it's like the Matrix code kicks in. It's like, right, I know how to do this now.
Yeah.
You know, boss mode enabled.
Yeah, I love that mood.
Yeah, and then as soon as I did it, I knew what I was doing. I did get a lot of upgrades previously, so I went, right, when I'm going into the battle, I said I'm going to struggle because you can upgrade yourself quite a bit in this. I spent time on getting upgrades and doing little bits and pieces to try and make sure I got the best I can before we start. And it was quite nice because you literally save right outside the boss's room,
That's good.
which is brilliant. So if you die, oh well, you just jump
And
back
that's
in
infinite
again.
chances, is it, as well?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh yeah. You just go right. Oh, I've died. Oh well, right. Load my save up again, just like you've restarted the console.
Yeah.
Reload up the save again. You can even skip the initial like, I'm going to take over the world, blah blah blah. You know, because sometimes you get that punishment of having to rewatch it every time. But this one hit start. It'd be sod's law if you did it and you hadn't seen it, not the controller. Oh no.
Yeah.
But other than that, though, so it really helps. I didn't get stressed out doing that boss because I knew I can keep coming back to it. And I thought, right, and I even said, if I can't do this, oh, well, at least next week I can go straight in. And I thought, give it one more go. And then I managed to do it on my third attempt, and I'm really happy with that. So
how long did it take for the whole boss fight?
Day.
Wait,
well, I say day, but stream-wise.
Oh, I mean, like how long? I'm gonna say how long did the actual fight cost? Like take like an hour?
No. Oh, yeah, I was there. Oh, not actually saying that. A couple of games I've done that, but no, the that one was about. Once you knew what you're doing, probably because I normally cut out the boss battles, and I want to use it for a video later on.
Yeah.
So I'm cutting out all the cut scenes, the end fight. I think it might have been only about like 20 minutes, maybe less than that. Maybe
that's a big fight, though, isn't it?
Oh, I guess 10 to 15 max. Probably then.
I'm trying to think of like the equivalent of like when I do a boss fight. Like Super Mario World Bowser fight. How long does that take? Probably about 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah. Especially when you know what you're doing. You can do it a bit quicker, do some parts of it. This one, I tried. It's one of these ones where you're doing the boss battle and you try and be cheeky to get that one extra hit in. And then you get punished for it big time. And you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have stuck with what I was doing. I
was watching One Up Jack play Hollow Knight this week, and it was these enemies where you're supposed to like hit them once or twice and then back up.
Yeah, I was watching it as well.
Yeah, and he's like, he just kept doing cheeky ones. And I was like, don't do cheeky ones. Get away to stop doing the cheeky ones. And he's like,
one more hit.
Like
one
that?
More hit.
We're like that, aren't we? We're like that. We just want to go. I can want to cheat the system a little bit. It's like the Matrix again. But that's quite a couple of things, isn't it? Like mostly mine was Tomb Raider, although I've been playing some retro stuff on the side. Just the odd thing, but nothing mostly to talk about.
Oh, well, was there anything in particular that you played offline then?
Well, S.C.A.T. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's just an acronym. It says S.C.A.T. It's the weirdest name, but it's a NES game. Have you ever?
Oh, one of the one. Yeah.
You're flying around. It's by Natsumi. You know, they make those games. And I've been playing now offline, and because it's on the Nintendo Switch Online, it's so good. It's basically shoot 'em up, and you're just like a little guy in a little flying pack. But I didn't even know until the other day. I let the intro run, and we showed you kind of an example of how the game plays. It's 2-player. Didn't even realise it was 2-player. That's such a cool idea for 2-player. Yeah. But it's one of those games I'm like want to learn how to play and maybe play it on stream when I get a bit better. Because it's such a cool game.
It's my first time playing. Oh look!
Yeah, I was going to say that. Like, let's have a go with this. But I like the idea of playing some of those games and then beating them on stream because they've been putting like playthroughs out of like on YouTube. It's kind of nice having a collection. I've gone to that recently when I started thinking about because originally I thought I'll put them a playthrough on a YouTube channel. No one's going to watch that, and I didn't realize actually it's quite nice having a collection of games you beat. Do you know what I mean?
Going through my endings when I was taking out because I did them as highlights, just the endings. I was going through and exporting them all, and I went at the beginning, and I went, oh, I've got completed that.
Oh
I'd have
yeah,
to do
there's
that.
I
And
was
then
doing the same
sitting
thing.
watching yourself in a battle
Yeah,
that you don't remember. It's really weird,
it's
isn't
nice,
it?
isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
because you go,
nice.
oh, come on, Chris, what are you doing, Chris? Oh, what are you doing? You tell yourself off and
Yeah, you
everything.
need to put them up on YouTube or something because it feels really nice. Because I'm going through and editing all the breaks and stuff out to make
Yeah.
them as short as possible. But that's made me thinking, oh, I want to try and get in some shorter games like that because if games like Tomb Raider, I probably won't do that with it because it'll be like how
It'll
many
be part
parts.
2, part
I
3,
don't want
part
to do that.
4.
I do not want
Yeah.
to do. I want to only do like one video for each. But maybe if it's like a 9-hour video, but I don't know. Even that.
I think you should do a compilation of all the deaths.
Oh, can you imagine? It'd be there. That'd be longer than the actual playthrough. You know, that makes no sense. But you know, it wouldn't feel like that. But yeah, I think I want to try and get in some more shorter games, which are like up to 3 hours or something.
Yeah. It is nice to do it through them because,
Yeah,
because it's like you don't mind getting them one and done type of thing. And it just,
exactly.
yeah.
Because I was
Don't leave it
editing
for
Gremlins 2, our favorite, both our
yeah.
favorite
Love
NES games,
it.
and
Yeah.
I edited that into a video yesterday to go out soon,
Oh, nice.
and I was so made up when I was watching. Like I did it all in like one life, and I was like, oh my
Oh, I
god,
haven't
that's
done it yet. I haven't done it
so
without using
good.
a password yet. That's
Yeah,
my aim.
don't
To
do
do it
it.
to them.
I think it's harder if you use a password because
Oh, it is
it
because you
resets all your
lose all
stuff.
your power ups you built up to that
It's
point and all
awful.
that lot.
I
Yeah.
did the same thing as a kid with that game, and I was so made up with it, and I completely forgot. So it was nice going back to that video and going, "Oh God, look, there it is, me doing it." So it
Yeah.
was, and also if I ever return that game, I can kind of look back and see the choices because I never know whether to. If everyone plays
Oh,
Gremlins
yeah.
2 on the NES, this will make sense. But you never know when to buy a balloon or when to buy a life or all that. Right at the start, I always forget. The strategy of playing that game. But I think it's just one of the best games ever. But
Yeah.
that's for another chat.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, should we get on to some news?
Yes.
Right, today we're going to talk about some new retro gaming news and all that stuff. But we're also at the end of the podcast, or after the news, we're going to talk about our hopes and dreams and our wish list, our ultimate wish list for this Switch 2, which is coming. It's going to be completely revealed in a couple of weeks, isn't it? So we'll
Yeah.
get through the news and then we're going to jump on that. So it might be a bit longer today, but we don't know. Right, so the first bit of news is.
Oh, can I just say, like, you had selected all the news articles. You've
Yep.
literally just highlighted everything.
I know. We did it. I thought I'll just highlight 5 things out of the news so we can get to the Switch talk because I think that'll be important. And then all the news was just fun. I wanted to go through. I mean, fun. We say this: SNES consoles appear to be getting faster as they age. This was a bit of viral news this week. I saw this everywhere.
Yeah.
And I had a quick read, and I've seen other people kind of argue about it. I will not pretend that I'm an expert of like what they're talking about with the processors and all that stuff. So if you know more than what we're talking about on this, please do so in the comments.
Yeah,
let us know.
because
I saw people talk about refresh rates and on CRTs and all this, and that's one of the issues. Oh, and this article doesn't even mention CRTs. They're saying basically. Oh my god! Look at that Xbox advert. That's the biggest advert ever. It's picking the whole bloody website up. So this guy or these people have been testing SNESs and saying that they're running faster.
Oh, sorry, you ain't got it ain't on screen.
Isn't it?
No.
What? You're not seeing this?
No, I just got a black screen on the.
Have you really just got a black screen?
Yeah, I can see you moving it on the bottom left-hand corner.
Oh really? I can.
It's
on mine, which is odd.
Oh,
let me.
if you could see it, then I just want to make sure.
No, well, let me share it again. Let me, just in case everyone else watching has the same issue.
Yeah, because I'm worried about anyone else can't see it
now?
or something on there. Now I can see it.
Interesting.
Definitely can see it now.
Well, that's just something to look out for, isn't it? Yeah, so this
Yeah.
SNES consoles appear to be getting faster as they age. Now, according to this article, or the people who were talking on Twitter who were testing this out, it's the audio side of things.
Oh.
So it's not the video. They're saying that the audio is running a bit faster, a bit like higher pitched, and it's dependent on like room temperature, which I've kind of heard in the past about like when your consoles are on and like if you're in a hot room, weird things will happen. I've heard that before, but they're saying that like SNESs do this, like they've done actual extensive testing. Look at this testing going on, 7 hertz difference between room temperature and warmed up console.
Wow.
My old yellow SNES just keeps climbing. It's been running over almost an hour. And it's just the numbers keep going up. Based on 143 responses, the SNES DSP rate averages 32,076 hertz, rising 8 hertz from a cold to warm. I won't go into the details because I won't, I don't know what it's all about the majority of it. I just get the whole gist of your SNES is running a bit faster.
The warmer it gets, the faster it gets, yeah.
which is interesting. More so that we talk about this a lot with like game preservation and console preservation. You, if this is true, it makes you just realize like, are we doing a losing battle? You know what I mean? By collecting
Yeah.
old games and consoles. Is it better just to get on one of those FPGA devices? Like the analog
Well,
AC
it's like that
talking
with
out and all that.
everything. There's people talking about your disc collection is rotting
Oh God!
away
Well, we've got
without you
that to
doing
talk about in a
anything.
minute. We'll get that up in a
Oh,
minute. Yeah.
you got that, and then the cartridges. But then, in the day, like the thing is, though, it'd be different for us. I feel that different collectors have different goals with the collecting, but we're collecting them to play them as well. So we're not like putting them into a glass case. It's now going to sit there for 50 years
No,
and just to like go bad. Like while we still got them, we're still playing them.
I'm kind of like
You
going
know,
the other way to an extent where I like to own the console, but if there's a more convenient way to
yeah.
play the game, that's more modern. I'm kind of going that way. Like I love to have a SNES, and if I have the glass case thing, I might do that to showcase it, like just more almost like a nostalgic museum piece of like
Oh
for
yeah.
my memories to go on my SNES. But I'm going the other way a little bit now, where I'm thinking I just want convenience.
Well, yeah, it's having that convenience of Leon. Well, taking it on the go as well, because you don't always want to be like locked down. It's kind of like it's two arguments there. Like I like having the stuff up here because it means I have to play it up here,
Hmm.
and it makes me focus on not doing anything else. I'm not going to sit there and go on the computer and I'm looking at YouTube or everything while trying to play another game and then not
True.
paying no
Yeah.
attention to what's going on with the game and not focusing. But the idea of managing to have something on a handheld to play, for example, like the Tomb Raider games, whatever. I know you play on a stream, but if you were like, you could take that to a coffee shop, put your headphones
Exactly.
on, and just chill with it
Literally,
there.
what the
You
Switch is
know,
made for, isn't it? Yeah.
and especially for like kids today, like where they might not be able to have a TV to be playing it on the
No.
entire time, they might have to have a family TV or whatever to share it, or their brothers and sisters that only allow them to watch, like play at times. So having other ways to play is better. It's hard because I never in the day. It's not a one side's the winner.
No, you
It's
kind of
not
want
that at
to
all.
a
It's just
balance between
choices.
them. Like I still want to
Yeah,
buy the games. I still want to buy the Game Boy games and all that, and I've got like a Super Game Boy to play them and all that stuff. But
yeah.
you know, if it's on the Nintendo Switch Online, I'm probably more likely to play it. Although when I saw like we were talking about this last time, the Donkey Kong games on there, but I'm more likely to play the cart because you get the Super Game Boy
Oh yeah,
elements
good to
of it.
know, isn't it? Yeah.
So there's a bit of a balance where I go,
Mm.
oh, there's convenience there, or I want to play it this way, and I want to do that. This just amplifies the kind of need for that balance, I think,
Yeah,
the way to have both ways. And also, it doesn't, you can't just go completely digital because a lot of games aren't released. We're talking about like Nintendo releasing all these games on Nintendo Switch Online. It's very piecemeal, and most of the games they put out these days are ones that like you're like, what the hell's that?
oh yeah. Wait till you see some later
wait,
bits in the news
wait till we
part.
have a look at that. And I mean, there's 100% an audience for those games.
There is.
100%. It's just and that one person is going to be so happy,
Yeah, that one
But
person
that one
ain't
person
me.
out there, me, yeah, it's not me. But again, I feel like totally ignorant to that because I think like, oh, that's something I
Yeah.
just don't know. That could be these games could be incredible.
Well, yeah, you won't be able to discover something because it's just there. You might, I'll give it a go
Exactly.
rather than going out and pay a lot of money for it or
Exactly,
get it
because
on the
you were at a
whim.
retro gaming
Jump on it.
show and you saw that on SNES or some one of those games
Yeah,
that were revealed later, and you went, "Oh, you wouldn't buy that or over, say, like I don't know, Super Punch Out or something like that."
yeah,
But
yeah,
because it's given to you on Switch and online, and you're paying for that service, you might just put it on for a few minutes, and that few minutes might give you way more like knowledge or a chance of
yeah.
looking at the game that you ever would have, and that's really cool. But I wish they'd balance it out with, if you're gonna put free games out, put one out that we kind of know as well.
Yeah, one just to balance it out.
Just
But
to
with
balance
the
it out.
stairs, but the stairs thing here is it's interesting because obviously doing all these reports are on the US one, and obviously weather condition in America
Oh, which is crazy, yeah.
is it's such higher on temperature. I know it gets warmer here, but it's not like it is in
No, it's not.
America. So where it says it runs hotter, it might be it's very different for other
Yeah.
parts of the world, really. And
One
but
of the
if you
things,
look after it, you know,
one of the
it's
things that was interesting because I think they mentioned this article that the communities that are really affected are the speedrunning communities because they're worried about like, oh, if it's getting faster, they're not
oh
going. But I didn't know. Maybe I'm just completely ignorant to this. Do speedrunners play on original hardware? I always thought it was emulated.
Well, no, there is two categories. There's the emulation version, and then there is the hardware. I don't know. I think it's Arcos, something like that.
Okay.
He has a very, very good moustache and like cowboy hat, and he plays Ninja Gaiden.
And are they able to time it as well? You know, where you have that
he times
thing?
it, but what he does is he's got a foot pedal. So he plays for the level, and then he taps the foot pedal, a bit like I don't know, like a keyboard pedal type thing, or a I don't know.
There's an Elgato foot pedal.
Yeah, that's kind of thing what it's sort of for as well. You can use it for that. So when they have a timer when it's like emulation version, obviously the timer is automatic because it knows when you've gone to the next level. But when it comes to the real hardware, they manually do it, and then that's
cool. I never knew though. It sounds really ridiculous. I didn't know people speedrun with real hardware, and that was like an official kind of.
But then it's like anything. There's speed running on 100% or any percent. There's not just completing that game in the fastest time. There's so many categories.
Yeah, definitely.
And also having emulation's a bit of a touchy one to be the overall record, because obviously someone's PC might run faster, or
there's so many variables, isn't it? There's so many variables.
It's a bit more bit touchy with those ones. But yeah, a lot of people do use emulation, but the real hardware people also do it. But it all depends on the category they're doing it on.
This is just to kind of reiterate the point as well. This goes to show that, like, you know, even though we collect all this stuff, it's not going to last forever. You know?
Oh no, it's not absolutely anything. But then the things that get that I kind of still keeps my hopes up for it as lasting, because it's lasted 20, 30 years already, and some of this stuff has just been thrown in people's lofts. Or in a cupboard in a box. I've got a book from a charity shop, a Conan book. It's 1978, I think it is, and it looks immaculate. And this is a paperback book. Why is that not fallen to dust?
It's been kept. It's been kept in a nice place and looked after.
It depends how you look after stuff. And obviously, when you went to Japan, you probably there's people there that are cleaning games all day long, or they're putting nice ones. And I've even picked up games that have been quite dirty. I like CEX. They're just great. Right, get it. It works. Put it out.
I don't understand. Sorry, if you are someone who works in CEX, can you let us in and let us know why you don't clean games? I don't understand it.
Yeah,
like you'll buy something and I go, oh, it looked all right in the window, and you get it and you go, oh my god, why is it so grotty in the back? I would have thought they'd be clean and brought in. I don't know. It just feels like a general hygiene thing.
Oh, anytime I pick something up, first thing I do, I don't even put it near my console. I make sure I clean it first before I put it in the console, because if it's got dirt on it, you could essentially damage your console.
You're transferring it over, aren't you?
Yeah. So it's always advised to clean them out.
Well, talking about dirt and consoles and games, how about
and nostalgia?
How about accepting this
and accepting policies?
Disc rot.
That word.
Rot. Yes. It's like brain rot, isn't it? Brain rot. That's the thing what people say now. Disc rot already afflicts your physical game collection. So there was a story about disc rot to do with movies, wasn't it? I think Warner Brothers.
The discs are literally just rotting away without you doing anything with them.
No, you haven't done anything, and I think because he's saying this, and like Blu-rays are the worst apparently. So apparently Blu-rays have got the least amount of lifespan.
Right.
In Blade Runner.
I thought they were thicker discs. They look so.
I thought so as well. But can I get all the adverts on the page at once, please?
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. All right. What's this now?
What is that game? I don't even know.
It's that, isn't it? It's like it can't get past anything. Oh my word!
Wow.
So Warner Brothers' new DVD exchange program. Obviously, he's got a program for it. I have not read the original one. I just read this one because it was on Gamings. Free to. What can I just get? How to get rid? There's an X there. Everyone's streaming X. Yeah. X. It's gone. Right. Yeah. If you have an extensive collection of PS1 games, some of which may be 30 years or older, it might be time to entomb them in some sealed preservation chamber, or failing that, fire them up again for the sake of old times. Nothing lasts forever. I mean, that's true. What they say.
I get thing of the old disc rot stuff is that if people don't look after their discs and just whack them on the side,
Yeah.
or leave them out in the sun or something like that, or because it's with anything. If it's like a pair of trainers, you
Yeah.
could buy a pair of trainers and wear them every single day and never clean them, and they fall apart. You're like, oh, why has they fell apart on me? Or you could get them, and some people really look after their trainers and clean them up after they use them, or don't wear them when it's muddy or whatever. And it's like that, literally anything.
I suppose though,
physical
I've
stuff.
always thought about this with discs compared to like cartridges, and it's
Yeah.
probably I don't know if cartridges last longer because obviously the batteries in the carts are always an issue, but you change them out and the cart
Yeah.
can still work. But again, it's the same principle really. If you look after it, it's going to be in better shape. But discs, I remember my mate telling me it's spent a fortune buying, is it Rule of Rose, the PS2 game?
Oh yeah,
An
yeah.
absolute fortune on that. And I was like, on a PlayStation 2 game, it's a disc. And I was thinking, that's not going to last that long. And then and you buy something like that, you're probably only going to play it once, let's be honest, in your
Yeah.
lifetime, maybe twice. So
Because you don't want to damage it either, so it's
exactly.
a bit of
So
when you get
like,
expensive, you can't enjoy it as much.
but I suppose something on your shelf that you've got like that,
Yeah.
which you can look at, and it's all again like something like a museum piece or something that ties the room together. But whatever, I get it with that in that sense. But for that much money, I'm like, I don't know if I'd do
It's
it.
like when you buy disc only stuff. I don't like, because you could go to like the gaming markets and you find disc only in a plastic wallet.
Yeah.
I have no desire, unless I've got my copy that's busted and I want to replace it, I'll get it. But if you see loose discs of a game, you're like, nah, thanks, I'm not that bothered. It's really weird.
Yeah, that's
but if
weird.
it's a
If you've got the
cartridge
case,
loose,
yeah, cartridge.
I'm
Usually go for
fine
it.
with buying it
Yeah.
instantly.
Yeah, I'm all over that. But disc, you just worry.
Disc, you feel a bit weird. You're like,
Yeah.
I'll
So we
leave
say
it.
this: in this inevitable fate awaits all CDs, DVDs, and Blu-ray. CDs have a 50 to 100 year lifespan, and DVDs are supposed to last between 30 and 100 years.
I
Despite
don't know
being
that.
that's weird, isn't it?
Okay.
Have they tested it?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's one of the future.
Okay.
Despite being the newest iteration, the Blu-ray discs PS5 games that are printed on have the shortest life expectancy and are only estimated to last around 20 years
What?
under ideal conditions. Now, the whole around 20 years, someone said in the comments that from the original article, which I haven't read, it says at least 20 years, but they put around 20 years, which makes you think it's only going to last up to 20 years. It's at least 20 years. But yeah, but the thing is that the Blu-rays won't last as long. So it feels weird, isn't it? Because if you get a PlayStation 5 now and we're all like, we want to get physical, we want physical products and all this, and then you get it, it's not going to last 20 years, or it might not last 20 years at least,
That's mad. Because just imagine that, like, because I don't think about games that are 20 years old.
No.
20 years old.
No, that's it.
Anything
before you know it. I mean, like, PlayStation 3 games are they Blu-ray? They're Blu-ray, aren't they?
I think that they're a mix. Oh, was it PlayStation? Oh, was it PlayStation 2? Because one of the formats, not if I were PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3, there's a mixture of DVD and CD games.
Yeah.
Because I think I was at PS2 because it had like the purple color and then you had the normal color. So yeah, I think they're DVD. I thought PS3 was
PlayStation 3
DVD.
DVD. What about PS4?
They're Blu-ray.
So they probably around like 20 years. Oh, actually, how long's the PS4 been around?
Well, that doesn't. It feels like it's been 10 minutes, but that's been around.
Yeah, it's probably
now.
a while, isn't it? But like someone said, there are the very oldest DVDs ever produced, such as the Editors' beloved Mars Attacks, aren't even 30 and have already begun to fail. It seems it's effective this way distribute. I mean, this is happening with VHS as well. All the things that we collect and all the things we put out. I mean, the majority of these things we kind of use, but also we use as to kind of just look at and have have nice displays and stuff like that, and just feel kind of nostalgic about. A lot of these things, like when you buy a movie, how many times you actually watch that movie? Your Laserdisc collection, how many times are you ever going to watch, like, say, Beverly Hills Cop? How many times do you reckon in your lifetime do you think you'll watch Beverly Hills Cop on Laserdisc?
Well, I will say Bloodsport I've watched about 4 times since.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say Bloodsport. I'm not picking one of the ones that I would watch that many times as well.
Cop,
it's a general movie.
Well, I was saving it for the group thing. We watched it on there.
Yeah.
And then I haven't watched it since, but
would you watch it would you watch it once a year for the rest of your life? Do you think? Oh, do you know what? The way you're thinking about it makes you think you wouldn't.
Well,
I was thinking I think that would be okay. Like, oh yeah, I watch Beverly Hills once a year, and you're like,
There's
so that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I kind of. It's a weird time when you decide you want to rewatch a film. For
Yeah.
like Little Shop of Horrors, I've watched the latest of that at least about three or four
It's like your
times.
favorite movie. Is that your favorite movie? I think it is, isn't it? It's up there.
Essentially, is
It's up there.
outside of like Aliens and
I
stuff.
was gonna say, is it better than
That
Aliens?
I've watched
Yeah,
that a lot of
Aliens.
times as well because
Now,
it's always them sort of things. When someone brings up a movie, you kind of go, "Oh, like today, I was watching a Back to the Future, 10 things you didn't know or deleted scenes of the Back to the Future," and the music's playing in the background. I'm just watching the video and I'm instantly going, "No, I want to sit and watch all those right now. I
yeah,
want to
you
go sit and watch all
do.
those."
You
So
need to
little
be
things
to
trigger to
word of
make you want to
mouth and
rewatch them,
influence. Yeah. Now,
and
I'm not
that's
saying
where.
like you shouldn't own physical copies. I definitely think you should own physical copies because the ones that we get on streaming services are, for the most part, rubbish. You know, they're always
Yeah,
like different versions of the ones that we actually want to watch. The sound design's odd, the mix is odd. It just you want a copy that you know that
yeah.
you love and that you can rewatch. But saying that, maybe buy a couple of copies. I don't know down the line. But again, like how many times are you going to watch these things? It's a crazy discussion.
Yeah, because it's always got both sides of it all. And that's why digital's
Same,
better. But
yeah.
then,
But
like example,
but that
yeah,
was what we all fell for. Sorry, I've jumped in.
I
But
was
that's
gonna,
what we all fell for, isn't it? Originally, when they were, when we all started getting rid of our DVDs, and then suddenly we're like, yeah, you can just watch everything on Netflix, and
yeah,
then not everything's on Netflix, and then they charge you for everything on Amazon. If you want to watch like a copy of like what RoboCop, you got to pay $2.99 or whatever
yeah.
each time you want to
Even though
watch it.
you're
Like, wait
paying
a
for
minute.
Prime already,
Exactly, and even though you bought a copy of it years ago, or you could go out and buy a copy of RoboCop on Blu-ray on DVD for 50p or something.
yeah. But then, yeah. So because I get to argue with my parents all the time, it's like they go to say, oh, they want to watch something, and they bookmarked it on Prime or Netflix ages ago, and they go, it's not there anymore. And then they're
Yeah,
kind of all huffy with me saying, "Oh, it's not there anymore." I'm like, all right, but I told you they
you're
don't
not
last
in
forever on there.
control. You're
People
not in
just
control.
assume they'll always be there. Or
Yeah.
there was a set of films I sort of bookmarked. There was a load of Chuck Norris films because I've never really seen a Chuck Norris film. Really, you see like the odd little bits, but I've never
Yeah,
seen sat down
same.
and watched one. So on Prime, they had a whole load of them. So I bookmarked a load of them, and I was going to watch one every other week or every week or so, just to try and get through some library. So I watched two of them, and I went through it again, and I went, I swear I bookmarked like 10 other films.
Gone.
They're gone,
They
and I was
weirdly
like,
cycle, don't they? They cycle each month. They get rid of something and they bring it back
yeah,
a couple months later. I don't
ah,
know why.
it come back, and then you got to pay for them now,
Oh, yeah. Well, you go taste. They did it with
or
Bond
yeah.
movies, I think, a while ago. All the Bond movies were on there, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to watch the Bond movies.
Oh,
Never
you
really
said
watched
about
them.
that, yeah.
And then I went to on Prime, and then like only the one was there was the newest one, and I was like, well, I'm not going to watch the
Yeah,
other one. Well, probably should,
I've
but
got them on VHS. That's
there
it.
you go. And they're probably completely fine to watch. No rot or anything in them.
No, they're really good actually.
God, they'll be
Actually, I was given for free, so I
there. You
didn't really
go.
buy it to pay for them. But they're in really good condition
Really good.
considering.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I would rather have like the worry of this than the
But
worry
that's it.
than nothing. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Than
because you've
abide by
got
the
a fighting
streamers.
chance with it. You've got a chance
Yeah.
to look after it.
Yeah.
Even if you only get so many views out of it, it's that rather than hoping it be
Oh,
available
I'd rather a
online.
hard copy. I bought after watching the Beatles documentary on Disney Plus. There's the one with the kind of like the behind the scenes where they're just showing them like writing the album, like, and
Mm,
it's hours and hours and hours. And if you got Disney Plus, you can watch that. I went out and bought the actual Blu-ray set because I just don't want to be. I have to like depend on a streaming service to watch that forever.
yeah,
They can just
yeah.
switch that off when they like lose
Or
license or
licensing,
whatever.
especially like when someone big like the Beatles, I might turn around and
Ex-
go, "Can't have
Yeah.
it now." Off.
Exactly, and that's happened.
Yeah,
That's been burnt like that before. So if it's something I really love, I'm gonna get a hard copy of it. Yeah, if it just doesn't work in 30 years, in 30 years I'm gonna be 70. So
it probably won't matter. We probably forgot we even owned it by that point.
exactly, and they might bring it. They'll probably bring a new version of it out in some other way. I don't know by then or something. But anyway, that
Yeah.
was a bit of a fun bit of news, isn't it? It was a little bit of like naysaying,
That's
but I don't know.
just lovely. Good
We
fun.
got so we get on to some good news. Actually, I
Yeah.
just looked at some other news that we've got, which isn't good. But we'll try a bit of good news.
Oh yeah. That's what you collecting.
You see
Yeah.
the one underneath was like,
We
oh
need
god,
to break it up. Good story, bad story. Good story,
yeah.
bad story.
This is a good story, I guess.
Yes.
Right. Oh god.
Oh God.
Sound. Oops, wrong one. This is. I've got no audio on this. Can I unmute? Oh, I'll mute this. Mute it. Can I mute it up here? Mute. Here we go. So the Croc, the game you grew up with, you liked, and I'm going to play at some point. You're going to play at some point. I'm going to get
Yes.
hopefully. Did you say you can switch between the two different graphics in
Yeah.
this?
Oh, do you know what I was going to say to you about that? You know, with Tomb Raider, you have to have new or old.
Mm-hmm.
With this version, this was last shown in the last demo online. It might have changed now, but I'm pretty sure they've kept it. What they've done is because they know people would want to quite loud, by the way.
Oh, is it? It was muted on
Yes.
my side. Weird.
Yeah, it's quite loud. Just so I don't know how loud
Sorry.
it's for everyone else.
It's all right now. Go on.
Oh, and basically what you can do is, I don't think they showed it in his trailer, but they showed it when they did a full demo. You've got a choice of having the backgrounds as the old graphics. You can either have Croc as the new graphics or old graphics.
Is this on the fly, or is this when you start? Oh,
you can go in the options, and then you can flick through it. You pause the game, and you go, right, I want the backgrounds to be old, and I want Croc to be new.
That's really cool.
Because they really thought, right, so people could then just have one or the other, or pick and choose which they'd prefer to have. Which, if they have kept it up with that,
Wow, they
from
didn't
one
need
of the
to do
last
that, did
demo,
they, really?
that's amazing.
That's really good. I mean, this trailer came out the other day to announce the date of it. Also, if you buy this on GOG, feels like we're just selling this, isn't it? But if you buy this on GOG, you get the copy of the original game free with it.
Oh, I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah,
That's
but
really
that's
cool.
why I was thinking that they wouldn't do the whole like you swap graphics because because you get the original game with it anyway.
But then if you're not getting it through GOG and because it's on the Switch, PlayStation, and all sorts, you might not get the original.
I think I'd want a Switch version. It looks really nice, to be honest.
Oh yeah, Switch. If I could have any version, it'd definitely be the Switch
compared
one.
to like the first trailer came out, I was a bit like, oh, I don't know. And now
this is a bit I love. It has a ton of making stuff.
Oh,
there's
that's good, isn't it?
There's promotional stuff, sketch work. There's documentation, and all about all the merch.
Is that a plushie?
Yeah, they were talking about the merch bits because there were backpack. Excuse me.
Special editions.
There was backpacks. There was plushies, things like that.
Greg Winter's art, marketing art, Croc mate. Oh, I see. Yeah, because I did see that there was like a special edition of it. I wonder if they're just going to do like a standard one for Switch, like a physical version. Do you know that? Do you know?
Yeah, I think I hope so. Anyway.
Yeah, you never know.
But it's one of those. And also because this was meant to come out last year, but they delayed it because they literally weren't happy with how it was, and that's when delays are. You can't complain about it because really they want to make it as good as possible. And especially this company has not really been around for a while. They haven't really done anything else. So they kind of want to make sure that they're coming back in with an impact.
I love it when games are on PlayStation 4 as well as 5.
Yeah, I like seeing that because I have a PS4.
I've still got PlayStation 4 as well, yeah.
And I could go, oh, I could get that. The only thing I don't like is when it's a brand new game, it's on both platforms. You don't get, I'll get the PS4 one because it's cheaper. They charge the same amount of price.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't like. So
I would have been tempted because that new Don't Nod game, the Lost Records game, that didn't come out on PlayStation 4, came on PlayStation 5. And I was like, why? But why?
Oh, really?
I would have thought that was on PlayStation 4
version at all.
It's already, what was that?
Has it not got a PS4 version then?
No, it's on PlayStation 5 and Steam. And there's not been announced on Switch yet. But I'm holding. I was going to get it. I was talking about this last time. I was going to get it, and then I realized why don't I just wait until the Switch 2 is announced because they'll probably put it out on there. And by the time Switch 2's out, they'll have both parts of the game out because it's only in 2 parts. It's only first part out at the moment. And I thought, well, I'll just get it in when it comes out on Switch 2. So that's a bit of a must-have for me. So did you say did you show in this trailer? They're switching the different graphics.
No, they don't in this, but in the initial version that they brought out, when they had someone with a walkthrough playing the original prototype, and they said that there's going to be options so you can flip between having him in the old graphics, new graphics, background, the new graphics, the enemies, things like that. And obviously it's not confirmed in the trailer because they don't go through everything, but because it's something that people might not initially care about, it might be just you go into the options and you can flick through and change it on the fly.
Oh, remind me, how many Croc games were there? Were 2?
There was 2 on PlayStation. You got Croc 1, Croc 2, and then you had a Croc. I can't remember the exact name of them. There's 2 Croc games on the Game Boy Color, and they're 2 vastly different styles. One is like a platformer, like a Mario style 2D platformer. The other one's kind of like a isometric top-down view version.
Yeah.
It's like a very different game, but they call it Croc 1 and Croc 2, but they're very different games.
A collection
So,
would be great,
yeah.
wouldn't it? At this point,
Oh, they could do a collection
do a
of all of them, but
I mean, you got to do work
yeah.
on the next one, wouldn't it? And if this
Well,
does
they
well,
said if this does well, they
Yeah.
will consider number 2, but they haven't confirmed anything yet because
No.
obviously they want to make sure that
I hope there's an audience for it. You know, bringing all these old games back, and you know, it's not just like it's not lazily done, and that's what we like.
yeah. And,
You
it's
know?
done with a passion because they, you know, it's not like, oh, we demand there be a remake of it.
Yeah.
But the original guys are helping to bring it back and help to try and fund to get it going again. And it's a bit more passion project. So I think if they get it out and people get to enjoy it and get the old fans in. Because every time, because I'm on their Twitter account, you know, /X,
Yeah.
the Argonauts, the people who made it, they were retweeting people's artwork of Croc.
Oh, that's cool.
And so they're showing the fandom, and they're also building up to release of it originally. They were releasing little trailers and makings of it that was filmed years ago.
Oh,
And they even
wow.
had one of the guys going around to go into the original studio and talking about it.
Oh, that's cool.
Stuff. So they're really playing off, like they're really kind of trying to just talk about the history of it, which is really nice.
So are they going to include, because sort of in the video they see some kind of talking heads, are they going to include some of that in the game as well as like options, you think? Or is that just a special edition?
Well, no, that's actually on there. It says it's going to have commentaries, documentation. So it's kind of got little history bits on the disc because they've got quite a lot of it, and that's something that I got. It's funny, like you said before in other games, I get quite excited about the history that they add to it, not just put the game on modern platform. They've got some, because you might look at it and go, oh, I like this, but why is it made like this? Because I've seen there's another streamer. I can't get his name right now because he's changed it recently. Before he plays a game, he does a deep dive on the making of the game. So if a game is not very good, like example, like Dead Rising on the Wii, it's a terrible port. You think, oh, it's an awful version of it. But you find out, if you look at the history of that game, for example, it's based off the Resident Evil 4 engine. So that's why it's got limitations. So even though if a game's bad, it's bad. But if you see the reasons why it's so bad, or there's reasons why this is not very good, you kind of understand a bit more on why they did it like that rather than anything else.
It makes you a little bit more, let's say, apologetic or a bit more lenient towards it, because you might even come across a bit more impressed by it was able to do this within
how they do that, even though you think nothing of it today.
That's quite cool. I like that. But I mean, I've said this before, but I love it when these new versions of games, or any game really that comes out now, includes all this extra stuff. This is the difference between when we were kids and now, because when we were kids, we couldn't care less about our stuff. We
don't care who made it.
No.
Name of the people who worked on the game. Even the end credits. You'd be like, oh, the end credits are here.
It's the same thing of like when you're a kid playing, you play with your action figures and you just want to play with them, and now you want to display them and you do other things with them. It's like there's a difference between like what we had then and what we do with that now. And I think video games is definitely like that. We kind of like want a nerdier edge to these things. So when the Atari 50 came out with all of that extra
really
stuff coming in, and a bunch of other, and the Tetris one did the same thing. I want more of that. That's why I'm always obsessed with like collections and stuff. But I'm probably more obsessed when they do all this commentary stuff on the back end, because it keeps the game alive for us and it's way more interesting.
It's a bit like the Geeks collection. I bet you can't wait for that with all the makings and stuff.
Is that all that going on here? Oh, I think there is.
Is there? Oh, you have to get it now.
Do you know what? I reckon we'll both end up getting that.
Yeah, I know, we joke about it.
Yeah, we'll probably get it, won't we? And we'll end up liking it.
That Gex game, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just because of the, like, I mean, apparently you can switch off the whole, the commentary on it where Gex is chatting.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that'll be good. But I don't know. I'm kind of, the more and more I think about it, the more I think I should just try it. It's like Bubsy 3D. We're getting that kind of thought process around it, you know what I mean? Where it's like, do I really want to play that? Oh, sorry, you're a big Bubsy apologist.
Well, not Bubsy 3D. I've got no opinion. I've never played it. I've only watched people play it.
Yeah.
But Bubsy 1 is the only one I like.
Stay with us, people, right? Even though he's a Bubsy apologist, right?
But he has great one-liners.
You can put that in the chat. If you got this far in the stream, put Bubsy apologist in the comments. how about some more good news?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Right? Yeah. So the analog NX64.
Oh,
They already
sorry.
call it the FPGA. Oh, you're not seeing it?
No, not seeing it again.
You're not seeing it? Oh, interesting.
No, it's
I
back
wonder
screen.
why. I wonder if I'm very interested to see if everyone else saw that at the same time. Can you see it now?
Yeah. Now I
Odd.
can see it. Yep.
Yeah. I
All
wonder if
good.
it's. I might just leave this. I think it's when I've switched over. Odd.
Ah,
So yeah, the FPGA N64 analog 3D. Is that what it's called, by the way? I forgot it was called that. I was just
it's
calling it
called
the
the
analog
Analog
64.
3D because their name is like a weird spin on the consoles. So
Mm,
you've got the Mega Drive or Genesis. It's called the Mega SG.
mm,
You've got the Super NT for the Super
mm.
Nintendo. Then you've got the NT, which is the NES one, and then you've got the Turbo. Oh, I forgot what it's called. Turbo NT. I don't know. The Turbo Graphics
That's
got one. I
odd.
can't remember the name of it. But yeah,
It's one
anyway,
I'll
yeah.
never remember that. I mean, you obviously remember the names of the others, but I didn't. The consoles will now ship in 2020, July 2025. It's not that much of a delay. When was it? Was it supposed to be shipping
Well,
now?
it's going to be out earlier in the year, but the problem is because they've had a bit notorious for delaying their stuff,
Mm.
and things they got strange promoting because they promote to say got pre-order it now while you
Oh
can,
yeah,
and people obviously panic because they don't make a massive amount of them,
it's a
so
good
people
point.
want to panic order them to kind of make sure to get their pre-order in. But then when it comes to advertising, they'll go dead quiet after a little
Yeah,
while. And you think,
nothing.
why? What's wrong? What's wrong? And also, it's a lot of money, and you pay up ahead. By the
Yeah,
way, with them, you don't
yeah.
pay. Oh, I'll wait till it comes out.
No,
You've paid your money. That's the only
so.
thing. I don't. Yeah,
Oh, so it's supposed to come out Q1, so like any time
yeah,
then. It would have been out by now, basically.
yes, basically.
So it's going to be out in the summer. But I think it was sold out last time I looked at it for the most part. I mean, it
I
probably
don't
makes
know if you
sense
can pre-order it again now because I would
because they
push
give a
that
bit more of
again.
a yeah.
But mate,
But
but then it could be a good thing because it might mean they're trying to get some more made because they
yeah,
didn't realise probably how big it was going to be because stuff like Super Nintendo, the Mega
no,
Drive, just Genesis. When they come out, people obviously have massive passion for those.
yeah,
People love N64, but they are people that are quite divided, where they don't, it's not as much demand like other systems are. So it might be I don't know. They don't
I'm
really
gonna
state why.
I'm gonna show the tweet. Hopefully, it'll be all right to show. Analog 3D shipping delayed to 2025. Pocket White restock. Pocket OS and Duo firmware updates. Oh, it's just news for it all.
Basically, because the certain consoles are now they're all running off the same OS. So my
Mm,
Pocket has the same OS as one of the other consoles,
okay.
and because of that, they're kind of doing one for everything. So because they thought, well, we ain't got this before, but here's an update for another one you
Yeah,
might
something
have.
else. Yeah,
It's that sort
yeah.
of thing. We're
A bit
doing
of bad
something.
news, but it's
Doing
a yeah,
something.
yeah. Bit of bad news, bit of good news. Did you order one of these? I don't know if you did.
I didn't.
Were you
I really
tempted?
wanted to for Danielle because I
Yeah.
do. I've again, like he's saying about discovering games.
Hmm.
For me, discovering a console, I never had an N64. I was a
Right.
PlayStation kid, so
Yeah.
I never thought nothing of the N64. I
I
did
had a,
originally.
because
I was
my
like, "Meh."
brother, my younger brother had one, and I say
Hmm,
played all the games for it. Obviously, GoldenEye was like the game at the time,
yeah,
and Mario Kart 64 and all that stuff, and I loved it. But I don't know, I don't know if I could justify the price of something like this
it's
at the
again. It's
moment.
like buying. It's
I
like
don't need
buying.
it.
What do you? Well, it's like buying. Do you want to buy the cheap car or do you want to buy the expensive car? They do the same job, but one's more
Yeah,
fancy than the other. Do you
that's a
want
good
it with the
point.
bells and whistles? But for those, I think if you're a massive N64 fan, like a lot of the analog stuff, if you're massive of that certain console and you really like passionate about that particular console, you want
Yeah.
to go all on out on the best one you can get.
Yeah, I mean
So
that's that,
that's
isn't it?
kind of the
If it's your
example
thing,
of
yeah. I
yeah.
would.
It's like the
I get more excited about getting. I would love an analog pocket like what you've got because of the Game Boy stuff.
Well, because Game Boy stuff, because you think,
Makes
because
sense.
that's why out of all of them, I did want, I'd love to have the Mega SG and all that lot, but they're so expensive.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the out of pocket, I was instantly sold. So I was like, oh
Oh,
my god,
totally.
because it's got the
Looks
screen,
amazing.
it's a whole console you can take out with you, and that was and Game Boy was my favourite system of all time. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
so
drove me
good,
to
and it
get to
lives.
it.
It's still. You know what? Because like they're making games now. Like what's the other device? With the crack, the crank.
Oh, okay. The
The
Playdate,
play date, yeah, and they're
yeah,
making games which are not a million miles away from like Game Boy looking games. You know what I
yeah.
mean? and they still, and a lot of people are saying how good those games
I
are.
really
It's
would
like,
love to have one of them.
they are really cool, but I'd go for the Analog Pocket beforehand,
Yeah.
for me. But like those games, a lot of those Game Boy games hold up. It's what Wario and all the Mario games recently. But my God, it's still good. Let me go into another new game. Let me know if this shows up. It might be a case of when I'm switching scenes. Yeah, has that showed up?
No, it's
Weird.
black again. Yeah.
I'll just
But then
keep.
when you like send it
go.
off and then put it back on again, now it's back. Yeah.
Odd.
Might be a bug.
It's a bug, isn't it? Yeah. So you put this in. New survival horror game Phase Zero could easily be mistaken for a lost PlayStation Classic. And I think you were saying it kind of looks like a Resident Evil game.
Basically,
like,
there is a
oh,
trailer further down somewhere.
It should be all right. I did flick through it before to make sure it's all right to play.
Yeah, there's nothing bad in it. 'Cause there's a lot of running around and stuff. But essentially, it's done in the Resident Evil style. Fixed camera angles.
Super hot. Oh, God.
Yeah, super hot. Yeah.
Weird.
Apparently. It even starts at Resident Evil because that's a Resident Evil style
text, isn't it? Yeah.
But basically, they've done it in a Resident Evil style, fixed camera angles, a horror. And I actually thought, because I didn't read, when I first saw it, I didn't see the article, I saw the trailer on YouTube. And I went, oh, I've not seen this game before. And I did honestly thought it was like PlayStation 1 or something like that.
Do you know, I mean, I could look at the story. Do you know if this is going to be released on all consoles or?
I know it's coming out on PlayStation and Switch. I'm sure of it.
Do you know
what? I think initial is PC, but I think they want to do others. But you might have to double check that.
What's really weird is that we've had this time where, like, there was a lot of retro-inspired, like, pixel art games.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now, God, this is how old this is, because now this is the retro-inspired stuff of early PlayStation games. What is going on?
I know, it's bizarre because you think, well,
freaked me out when I saw that, by the way, with those.
And also if you see the trailer yourselves with full audio, it's got a great audio by the sounds of it, and it looks pretty. Like you could look at the graphics and think, what you think of them, but honestly, it looks quite a scary game.
Calling it Phase Zero was kind of reminiscent to some of those Japanese games as well. Just kind of
Well, you got Resident Evil Zero as well.
Do you know what I was going to say? I was thinking of Resident Evil, definitely Resident Evil Zero, Patient Zero, all that stuff.
But they've done a few like this now. There's been a few games that are like PlayStation looking, and it seems just for now. Then it might go on. Yeah, and it's going to be demo soon, so that'd be quite nice to give that one a go. But there's a few kind of like that, but that one stood out because a lot of people talked about that one recently, and it looks really well done because it's not a mod of another game.
No,
it's its own thing. And when it comes to like retro-inspired games, you instantly think of a side-scrolling platformer that's in pixel art.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's catching up. Like in 20 years, we'll be seeing retro games of like stuff that, like, I don't know, what's like of Assassin's Creed Shadows, or I don't know, whatever's out now or whatever. You actually probably the first Assassin's Creed on PlayStation 3. You'll probably see retro games that look like that, and they were incredible when you first saw them.
Yeah.
Next bit of news, which I will reload. Don't worry. There we go.
Yeah, that was when it comes out, I'll try and get that demo and give that one a go.
Yeah, I'm up for that. Review. So this is a new Mega Drive game that I think it's just come out as well. Did you give it a score?
With this one, it's not a new game put on Mega Drive. It is an unreleased game on the Mega Drive. That company, Retrobit, good time in there. I can't forget the name of it. Retrobit, they've been fantastic. They did the Megaman Wily Wars collection on the Mega Drive.
Yes,
and it's such a good collection. I've got that one. That's what I did buy, and
very good.
Really, really well done.
Was that like a limited kind of limited run? Was it a limited release? Can you not get that like properly anymore? Or have you got to get it secondhand?
No, only secondhand now.
Such a good collection.
And it was a good price as well. It wasn't like silly money.
Yeah.
But these have got the full manual. It's basically a shmup that never came out for some reason or another.
Yeah. It looks fun. I mean, it looks. Yeah, I mean, it's very. It looks like similar to other shoot 'em ups, I'll say.
Yeah, that's probably why it never got released, because it probably hit in the market. Because now we look at them and go, "Oh, cool, it's a shmup." But back then, people might be rolling their eyes, going, another shoot 'em up.
Another one.
You know,
but the notoriety of like the whole, it wasn't released. I mean, are they going to be releasing this on cart and all that stuff?
Yes, get a physical cartridge with a manual case, the whole lot. But I think. Yeah, so you get like a nice case, and they've done a few in the collection because they did do. The only problem is the price is, I know it's in euros, but it's probably not far from it.
Way
That
more,
price is.
yeah.
But they kind of do charge. It's not you won't be getting this for like 15 quid,
Yeah.
but it's good. It's something that like again you can get for your collection. And they also do upgrades to it. 'Cause sometimes they had battery saves, things like that might not have been on there before. It's got a
Yeah.
brand. It's not even like dusting off old games.
Yeah.
It's literally they're building brand new cartridges
I love
for
that.
this.
I love that.
And
They're
that's
keeping these
and it's
old
and it keeps
consoles alive.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
keeping all our consoles alive. Just wish we could keep our consoles alive. That's the only
Oh, I
thing.
know that's the only thing.
That's
But
the
then
thing.
again, this is why you probably might buy going back to the analog 3D
Yeah, the
and
analog
then
versions.
consoles. You buy one of those ones
You
to
start
play
seeing
this
the kind of
on.
reasoning for it, don't you? But it's just the price of them. But
Yeah.
maybe is it going to start making everyone sell off the original consoles? And
But
get
it's
those?
quite funny though, because with these sort of games, because they're a good alternative to like, well, this one wasn't released, but there's a game that did come out on Mega Drive. I can't remember the name of it now, but it did get an official release. But if you try and buy it, it's crazy expensive.
Oh,
Like
really?
it's £300-400. It's a shmup game, and that was really expensive. So then they released it with a company like this, and then it was obviously like 40-50 pounds, which is still expensive, but compared to an original game for 300, you're like, oh my god, that's
It's
so
like a
much
new
cheaper.
game. Yeah.
But then that one stops being released, and you can't buy that one anymore, and then the price of the re-release goes up. So it kind of
Supply and
it's a bit,
demand,
it
in
always
it.
comes back
Yeah.
round again, even
Oh
with
god.
the re-releases.
But I'm just going to click on it here. Let's see. That should work straight away. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And then I've got to with the other bits. There you go. The new Atari watch. I put this in this. Do you know what? I was never really into the idea of a smartwatch until I saw this the other day. And I don't know. I'm still conflicted because Atari I love Atari, but they put their name on everything. Like,
well, I was going to say
everything.
when I saw this, I was a bit like, oh, they've actually already released an Atari watch.
What was the original one?
I can't remember what it's called, but it's literally Atari all over it. But all it had was a couple of Atari games on it and a watch face.
Really? So when was that? Was that not
that
long
was
ago?
a few years ago.
Oh, so they're doing it again.
So they're doing it again.
Yeah, I wonder if it's sold well because I mean these are the 3D renders, obviously, but I like the look of these. To be honest,
yeah,
I like the look. I would actually play these. Well, I don't know. Would you play? I mean, I love the look of them. I think it's very stylish, and the fact that it's a Fitbit as well is pretty good because it can like track your steps and all that stuff.
You're saying it to yourself here, by the way.
I know.
Well, they are good for that because you could do that on them and stuff. But it's a bit like I've got the Mario Brothers 3 Game & Watch.
Yeah.
I love it. I've only probably played it once or twice.
Does that fit your arm as an adult? I'm always worried. Does it fit your arm as an adult, or does it feel tight?
I always thought that it was going to be tiny when I got it. No, it fits perfectly. It's quite a nice size to it.
I would love one of those, but like I don't know, those are going up in price all the time. All the Nintendo watches. My God, there's a few of them as well, and I think that that Mario one is probably the most accessible one, the one you find out of all of them.
It is that one in the Mario World looking one.
Yeah, God.
But there's a Star Fox one. And Tetris one would be brilliant because you know that would play great on that.
Yeah, I think that goes for an astronomical price, is the Tetris one. But this is pretty cool. I like the look of it. It's interesting. I'd like to see it in action. I mean,
that's the problem. Yeah,
I'm looking at this now.
It here.
And can we say? Okay, that's as much as we can look at. It looked. Oh, here you go. That's Centipede. Basically, so you are this little square. What's going on here? Why is it not using the whole of the?
Because that's probably where you're putting your finger on the screen.
Oh God, yeah.
So you're it's a top-down view of a analog stick, isn't it?
Oh right.
Because you've got the rings. Because if you get an Atari joystick, look down at it. The red dot is the joystick, and the rings are meant to be like the rubber bit. I think. That's that's my interpretation of it.
Interesting.
Because if you've got tiny dots and you've got your finger in the way and you're trying to play the game,
it takes up so much of the screen.
But then you're going to be like this. You're like, trying to play
that game is. I mean, I love Centipede, but
I do. I love that game.
It's you've got to look after the details because like you got it. There's so much going on, especially when it gets faster. And your fingers going to cover half the screen. I don't know how I assumed you'd even control it. Like I would, if I thought a better way of doing it, and maybe as an option, would use the buttons on the sides become
Walk
like,
around with like a Bluetooth controller.
yeah, like
But then
this.
how are you going to hold the
But
controller
yeah,
and on your watch?
with the watch and do that. I mean,
You're
that's a way
like,
of doing it. Or a
yeah,
little fold out thing that becomes like, I don't know.
use your nose to change
Yeah,
it.
voice control.
What's going on? Left, right, fire on the
It's like
bus. That'd be lovely, wouldn't
it's
it?
like you're on a show and going live when you're on the phone and then they're doing one of
Oh,
those
yeah.
TV games. Remember those?
The delay.
And
Yeah.
all there is someone in there pressing the buttons for the person. Like
Yeah.
there's always going to be a delay because that person's going
What?
to do it.
You mean they weren't really controlling their voice?
No control with the
what?
voice.
Oh, that's really
Oh
much
yeah, the other games. Missile command Pong. See, I can imagine Pong being okay because it's
That'd be
literally
okay,
just
yeah.
that. Super Breakout, that could
You
work
can do
as well.
that if you watch.
Yeah.
You want to go up and down, you got to do this.
That could, do you remember the SingStar? The very first versions of SingStar had a Pong version where you sing a high note and the paddle goes up and sing.
I didn't know that.
It was
that
so
sounds quite
cool.
fun, actually.
It was really fun. I don't know why they discontinued it. Do you know what? I love the look of it more than I like the kind of use case of this. I love the straps, although I'm more well into like, well, I use a Casio anyway, so it kind of looks like that in a way.
Yeah.
And I love this kind of the colours here.
The only thing you're not going to like with every smartwatch out there is charging it.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
You forget yourself to charge it, and then it unlike your watch, it lasts for like
it does. Last
what is it, like months and months and months and months?
30 years, then it gets this rot, or something.
Get screen, wrist
rot.
Oh, that's like
wrist rot. Say that 10 times. Wrist rot.
You go, oh god, my wrist is all rotting. No.
Richard got some wrist rot. I can't even say it. Trying to make up something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's bigger pictures. I really like the straps more than anything.
The straps well nice. I actually really like that. Yeah.
Okay, there's breakout there. See, this makes sense. But where's your fingers?
Or maybe
it is.
Well,
maybe,
but if it's that, you might be left and right on the watch like this.
Yeah, because that only goes left and right. Oh, does it go up and down? I can't remember if that goes up and down. I think it only goes left and right.
No, it's left and right, isn't it? I'm sure it was.
I was thinking there might be another plane week, but no, it might be just left and right. So that makes more sense.
That would probably work.
You can use left and right
You
buttons.
can use press the buttons on that.
I'm happy with that. I think that will work, but I don't know. And old age fitness tracking. That's kind of cool though. Say hello to you. I mean, this you've got is what do most people have that does this for you? I mean, this is probably going to be way more accurate, but everyone's got a mobile phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I've got a Fitbit. I use a Fitbit.
Do you find the Fitbit's a hell of a lot better than the phone? I mean, it probably is, isn't it? 100%.
Yeah, it is, because
I wouldn't get one.
I don't always have my phone with me, like at work. I don't have my phone in my pocket the entire time.
Or when you're going up and downstairs or whatever, like, you don't really. Yeah, it's a good point. So
and the same with and the funny thing is with me and Danielle, because she's got a type of Fitbit. I can't remember the model now, Fitbit Sense or something. But basically, it's quite funny when she forgets to charge it and we go out. And she goes, oh, I didn't bring my watch with me. And go, oh, what wasted steps. Should have not bothered leaving your house today. What a waste. There's that sort of situation, because you get used to, I hit me 10,000.
Yeah. Oh, you can monitor your heart rate as well. There's like Apple Watches, I guess they do. I don't have an Apple Watch, but
it's a big selling because fitness is massive for the watches.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like it for
that reason. But then if you had a watch that could do your steps, your Fitbit, especially when you're running, I think once you get that you get the bug of getting like having them stats to go to your phone and stuff.
Well, how would it measure it though? Like, does it connect to a map?
Yeah, there'd be an app on your phone.
Oh, right. So you've got to still connect your phone to the watch.
Well, it would store it on the watch, but then it would upload it to your phone for looking back previous weeks and days. Because on mine, I can backtrack what mine was yesterday or last month's and then see how many steps, whatever,
I love honestly, I love the bands. I love the
I want that band. Yeah, the band are right.
They're all really, really nice. But I just don't know if I mean, to be honest though, the price isn't that expensive. I mean, it's probably sold out. How much
it was? Yeah,
like $79.99. Yeah, that's not too
cheaper
bad.
Than the original one. Because the original one they wanted £100 for it.
Wow, how much is
and
a Fitbit?
It didn't do Fitbit. It didn't do none of this fitness stuff.
How much is a Fitbit?
Well, my Fitbit. This is the 6, which is technically the latest one at the time. This was, I think it was like 110 at the time. I bought it with Christmas money at the time.
Okay, well there you go. Well,
that's a good price actually. To be fair, for a smartwatch.
I love Atari, right? But what would happen, right, if Nintendo announced a new watch?
Oh, yeah, and it would link to your Alarmo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
I
Yeah,
think if it
a
had
watch. If the watch come out, I would have it instantly.
I
Yeah.
think it'd have to do something unique, like the create. You know the way that we talked about the play date before, but
Yes.
Nintendo makes games for a watch plate.
Yeah.
I think they could make something really cool.
Well, I'd when I used a Pebble watch, which is an paper display watch. That was a smartwatch as well. But the thing that made that amazing is that it was like an e-reader, like the Amazon. What's
Kindle,
it called?
yeah,
Kindle.
Kindle,
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
Kindle. That did last months on battery because it wasn't using the normal screen technology, and that was good. And it used to be on there, and I used to have a load of Mario themed watch faces.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
every
Yeah.
hour he would hit the question mark. I loved it. It
Oh,
was so
that's a
good.
great idea.
So that's all stuff is already technically out there unofficially.
I think they'll probably do that. You know, the crazy. They did the Alarmo thing out of nowhere. This just
Yeah,
came out of nowhere, and I can imagine them doing a watch because every company's got a watch. Like,
yeah. And
I
that
mean,
would do. I reckon that would do super.
yeah,
Imagine all the cool watch. Well, they've technically got a watch out, sort of, in the theme parks in Japan and America now. You get a kind of
the
wrist
wristband
type
thing.
watch,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
more of a sensor
yeah.
thing. But that
To
is
track your
on the verge
progress
of
and
being a
all the
watch,
things.
really.
Yeah. That's I mean, I'm getting excited thinking about that. They're not going to do it, probably. They're very much going to be concentrating on the Switch 2 at the moment. But you can
Yeah.
imagine the watch and it'd work with the amiibos and all that stuff with that sensor on it.
Yeah.
It makes
Anything else?
sense.
Or you unlock something in a game, and if it's linked to your
Oh,
watch
God.
through that, and you get an achievement, and saying, or it may be like, oh, you could do something where you unlock something in a game, and you could choose, oh, I want a new watch face, and you've unlocked it in the game, and it could
It's
transfer
odd,
to
isn't
your
it, that
watch.
we say this, but we don't say it about like Sony or Microsoft because I don't know. I feel like Nintendo would dabble into the
It's
fun.
more the fun,
Yeah,
like more childlike
yeah,
stuff.
that's it.
You
That's what
know,
appeals
it's
to
more
me. For
fun.
I just want to, it is about the fun. Even Alarmo, as much as like we do not need Alarmo at all.
No, no,
I love that they try things like that though.
yeah.
I love that because the others aren't. I don't know. They're all going to
It's
do
interesting when
handhelds.
it comes out, if it comes out, because the problem is Atari is not Atari anymore. Some other
No.
companies bought the name up, so people slap their name on it. But if they do a good job of it, it'd be quite nice.
Yeah.
Would you
I
swap
want to
up?
see it in person.
Yeah,
Every time I
that's
see
the
3D
thing.
renders, I'm like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know
it'll
what
do
it's going to
that.
be like. What it's going to be dark. It's going to be, what it's going to be like when it's sunny.
Well, yeah, some of them screen watches, they've got shun it. You can't see them in the sunlight properly.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
also, if you play the game for more than 20 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, you run the battery down, and then it just
I
yeah.
I don't want to be able to go. Oh, I can't tell the time now because I played Pong for 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's that's the only
And
thing.
at the end of the day, right? Do I want to play Pong? There's endless ways to play Pong and
You can
Centipede
literally
and
play it
Breakdown on your
on
phone.
your future analog pocket
Yeah.
or your Switch and that.
All that, and Atari are releasing so many little handhelds and mini
Yeah.
arcade things and all that. There's an abundance of
Oh,
ways to play
it's
this
like
game
buying a retro
and the collections.
T-shirt of a game, innit? That sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
One of these sort of things.
exactly. And the thing that I like the look of it, but I don't know. It's looking at that version of Centipede it's kind of put me off a little.
Yeah.
With the taking up half the screen just for your I mean, get it with a finger, but like still, I can't even read the back of bloody packets of sausages now.
Oh, you said about that, yeah? Because I picked up something the other day, and I went, "Oh my god, I can't read that text." I literally did the whole thing my parents do. I go, and
Exactly.
I'm like, I can't read it.
So how
I can't
close
read
would you
it.
have to be to that Centipede?
You know
Like
what I
on
did
the
once,
screen?
right? When I was looking at a packet of something, I got my phone out,
Oh, I've done
magnified
that.
it, and did
Yeah.
that, and that actually
Yeah.
worked.
That is the equivalent of when you see older people years ago with a magnifying glass.
Yeah,
That's what we've become. That's what we've
basically,
become.
yeah.
Anyway, right. I want to talk about some new. What? Oh yeah. Wait a minute. That's not what I was going to say.
Segueing from Atari watches to
Sorry, watches. The new Nintendo stuff.
from a watch to SWAT. No,
So
don't
when
worry.
you saw this, you were like, finally,
Yeah.
finally, they're going to be releasing non-bung,
I don't know how to say it.
non, no
I'll let you
bun,
say it.
no bun,
No
no bun
bang. Yeah.
aga's ambition. Not just that.
Ambition. Yeah.
Not just
Yeah.
that.
Ambition 1 and 2.
Yeah, obviously,
Lord of Darkness. There you
Lord
go.
of Darkness, that one, and the Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Classics.
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 Do you know what though? Are we just ignorant of this? I bet there's massive fans of this. We're like, of
Well,
course we're about.
when I showed Danielle it, or I was talking to other people about it, I was like, "Oh, brilliant! They're finally getting some unreleased games and then
There's Burt
translating them."
Reynolds is in it as well.
I found out. Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
That's cool.
But the thing is, I thought, "Oh, brilliant! They're finally translating games we never got." When I looked it up, it came out on the Mega Drive and SNES, so it came out. I've never heard of them before now.
Do you know what it is? Right, I'm laughing now. But it's part of it is because I feel like I'm too stupid to play these games.
Me too. Me too. As soon as I saw two people talking in speech bubbles, I'm like,
oh god! And this, I've seen people on Twitch play these games, and oh my god, power to you guys! Like, because I don't know how to do them. It's. I just like games where you either run left to right or right to left.
What about Advance Wars? Did you ever play Advance Wars?
I played a bit of that and I actually quite liked it.
Oh, there you go. The later one looks a little bit more like Advance Wars.
Yeah, I actually played another RTS as well. Is you call them RTS? That'd be called RTS, wouldn't
it? If it's turn-based, but you've got like the other abilities, I think they call it a tactical.
A tactical one.
Tactical.
Because I played a bit of one of. I was on the 3DS. There was a couple that came out at the same time. Fire Emblems. I played a couple of those.
Oh, Fire Emblem. Yeah.
I was just intrigued because I'd never played those games before, and they were alright. I kind of became a bit samey as it went on and on and on. But it was I got it. It was quite fun. So
but then I got a while ago now. Someone redeemed for me to play Shining Force 2, and I was a bit scared because again, it's tactical RPG like this, and I was like, "Am I know what I do? I ain't gonna have a clue what I do." But do you know what? By the end of it, I loved it.
Yeah.
Once you kind of get your head around it, you're like, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because we're laughing about this, but these could be brilliant games.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they're releasing 3 of them, so this could be like. You go, oh, you know what, I'm going to try one of them, and suddenly we're in 10 podcast time, we're like, oh my god, that game's amazing.
Yeah, we're going to make another channel called First Time Plays.
First Time Plays, no Bonagas.
No, that one.
I can't even say it. It's just that, I mean, you go through it, it kind of got that element of like, I just look at it and think of Fire Emblems and all those kind of games.
Yeah.
New Horizons.
But this one, though, this one looks a bit more different because you've got that bit there where it's choosing to battle, which is very Shining Force 2 like. But then when it goes into battle, this bit's quite. I think it's this bit coming up.
It's a little bit more colourful, isn't it? Oh, like actually fighting as well. Oh,
yeah, this one looks really interesting. This side, and then you choose which type of attack you want to do.
Oh, they're playing with cards at the bottom, aren't they?
Oh, cards, yeah, the moves.
Interesting.
So that one kind of did intrigue me more than the other two. That's a little bit more RPG, isn't fun. It? Yeah.
Proper RPG. It could be all right. I mean, it's on Nintendo Switch Online. I mean, the worst thing you can say, like the teaching is about games that we've never heard of before. That's quite cool. I just wish they even keep a balance, as I said earlier, about these newer games, these games we never heard of, and some other ones.
Like two like really obscure ones and 2 well known. Yeah. At least.
I was trying to think about this before. Is there anything that's not on the Switch Online that should be on there? Like, it mentions, is Super Punch Out on there? It probably is, isn't it?
I haven't been in there for a little while. I see when the new ones come in. Yeah. I know things that are not on there for N64. They haven't got GoldenEye.
No, they have.
Oh, they've got GoldenEye. Sorry. Oh my god. What's the other one?
Just recently, wasn't it?
They got Perfect Dark as well.
I think they got Perfect Dark.
Oh, okay. Ignore me then. I can't remember what it was. Something else then. It was like that.
Something massive. And I think have they got Donkey Kong 64? I think they might have that now as well.
Things I don't have the N64 side of things because Danielle's got that because I've only got the Game Boy and SNES set, not the Mega Drive / Genesis and N64 set of it.
I mean, this is definitely turning into a Nintendo podcast because I have a bit of Nintendo. But
I honestly do try and look for other console stuff.
No, it's fine. I love Nintendo.
But it's just a bit more.
I mean, it appeals to like what I'm into, really. So I'm always jumping at these things because of like the 80s and early 90s.
Well, the thing is, though, with things that we
there's some PlayStation stuff.
Oh, here we go. It's PlayStation. Yeah.
So, another SNES PlayStation, as they call it, was being found. Like the last one was like hit the news because it got sold for like a crazy amount. Everyone thought it was the last one.
Yeah,
It was
because
on
that
all
one
the
was
YouTube.
well, that one was found by a guy who got it at a not car boot. You know when I forgot what they called it. You know they sell stuff outside the front of the house.
Oh yeah, I know you mean. Oh God, why am I listening on this as well?
What?
Lawn sales.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
don't have
kind
enough
of
name.
like people screaming at screen probably going,
I
"It's
know.
this." Is it a yard sale? Yard
Yard
sale.
sale. Yeah, yard sale. That's it.
Apparently he got it from there once,
Is
and
that
I
the
was
one
like,
that was? Do you remember? Because Metal Jesus was showing off one on his channel, and I think it might have been that one maybe before he had to send it back.
there was only yeah.
Well, that one.
Basically,
It will
it
be
made
that
the
one, won't it?
rounds. It made the rounds on there because you had the original guy who owned it, who then took it to Ben. Oh, I've got his name now. Ben something. He fixed a lot of stuff on YouTube, but he don't do it now.
Mm,
But he was really big repair guy on YouTube,
yeah.
and basically they took it to him because it wasn't working. He had it, but it didn't
Yeah.
power on or anything, and they gave it to him to fix it. That must have been a terrifying project, working on something
Oh
that could be
yeah.
one of one.
And you could mess up and it
You
just
know,
bricked. So for those that don't know what this is, so back in the day, Sony and Nintendo teamed up for a console that never was to be, but what the prototypes were created before Nintendo did the dirty and went off and worked with Philips instead last minute. But it wasn't a bad story because obviously Sony went off and made their own
yeah,
thing
it
called
branched off other
PlayStation.
things,
It was a
but it was
happy story in
one
the
of
end.
that was it. Yeah, but but it's the thing I love about that these exist is that this could be this alternative
Shut the picture, actually.
timeline.
Yeah.
This
Where it
could
could
have
have been.
been
Do
a
you know what's a good point,
completely
isn't it?
different situation.
Someone should write a book or a TV show or something about that, where things went very differently. Where
Like, what
Sony,
if?
what if, like a what
What
if
if?
type thing, but with Sony and Nintendo going that way.
Yeah.
I wonder what like Nintendo games would have been like under Sony. That would have been insane.
Imagine you could play as like Kratos from God of War in like Mario Kart or something, or
Oh my word! Yeah, the mixing of the IPs. God, yeah. So
but then how much influence would have Nintendo had? Because Sony were really pushing, from my point of view, I remembered PlayStation was very pushing for that older demographic, the teenagers, and the more serious gaming, when Nintendo kept more cutesy. So the weird, how would it have, the balance between the cuteness and the serious would have worked out? It would have been
Yeah, that would
very
have been.
strange.
I would love to see that. I mean, someone should just make something about that, or someone will just do a Chat GPT version of it, or something that'll probably do the best thing for us. But
Yeah.
yeah, so apparently this one was, I say, found was
Wow.
took a picture of. Someone went around to Ken Kutaragi's apartment, house, or whatever. I don't know what they were doing there. And he's the former CEO of PlayStation, and I dubbed him the father of PlayStation there.
Yeah.
And he was going. This guy was going to get his PlayStation signed by him for some reason. I didn't look into why he was there. But anyway, while he was there, he spotted this in his closet. He was saying it seems really odd to say it was in his closet, but there's gonna be more to it. But yeah, there is another Nintendo PlayStation, and there it is.
So, but also this one, even the original one's still better than this one because that's missing a button because people were pointing out the play button's missing. If you look,
Oh
where it's
really?
got the stop at the bit. It's like the far right below the screen. There's missing the play button
Ah,
on that
oh, of
bit.
course. Yeah, I didn't even know. Do you know? I didn't even
So
notice that.
that's the only thing that's a bit different compared to the other one. And the other one come with two SNES controllers with PlayStation on it, which a few of them have actually made the rounds somehow.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, we look at it and go, oh my God, how do you have a Holy Grail sitting in the cupboard? But when that's your company and you've worked there for years, you probably think nothing of it.
No.
Because it's just like it's like promo material. You've probably got
Yeah.
stuff that could be worth tons of
I've got
money.
a sealed copy of Buzz Junior Races.
Wow.
Yeah, from the time of Sony, and I
They graded? No.
I haven't graded it because it's just I don't know, don't even care, just thrown about somewhere. Just because I don't.
You're probably
Honestly,
sitting on it now.
I was too close to it. We're too close to the company, so like I don't care about it. You know what I mean? It probably goes for pounds right now, loads of pounds.
Oh, a whole pound including postage.
Yeah, the postage probably more. But
then, things like this, though, you think
very
that you should
interesting.
make a bigger deal about this.
Yeah, I just love that like stories like this come out of the work now and again. You're like, oh my God, this is kind of like I mean, special to us, people on the street are not bothered, but like, imagine just getting there. Like, what would have been? What could have been?
well, is it that sort of stuff? And then it's like you think it's just a console that can be no different because you can play SNES games, and there was no official games released available for this because it never came out. But there were prototypes of games out there that was shown on it. But with it, it's just like when I got to handle the Sega Pluto, like I was like, it literally all it is a Saturn in a different case, right?
Yeah.
But from old hardware. But it was like holding something amazing. You still to play Saturn games.
Yeah, it's the
But there
history,
was something
isn't it?
special about it.
Yeah.
You know?
It stops you in your tracks, and it's like I always think about that. There's a term called historicity. I think it's how you pronounce it. And like you could have like two special pens. You could have two pens, like a basic pen like that, and bought another pen, and then but one pen was like used by JFK, but the same pen.
Oh,
but that pen that was used by JFK is like one that people would deem really special. And it kind of reminds me of that when you see these special objects.
Yeah, it's true, actually. Yeah.
So, going from that, and we're going to speed ahead a little bit because I want to get to our Switch talk. Because just this is some fun toy stuff. Now, I did a video about this when it was announced. Actually, the day our last podcast, we were last recording our podcast, the disc was announced that day.
Yeah, it was.
Because we got a bit of Lego extra news, so I wanted to start off with this, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this because you love Lego as well. Do you think you would be picking this one up? Eventually,
I would like to, but I just wish that I know it obviously it's the first one come out, but I wish there were other ones available to get. Like I would love to have like a Luigi or Dry Bones one of it.
100% they do that. Or a Luigi. I don't know about Dry Bones.
Yeah, it probably won't fit. But Luigi, if you Luigi one, that'd be quite fun. But
if you were like the team behind this and you were like, I'm going to put all the Mario Karts out, you have to start with Mario.
Oh yeah, it goes without saying. Of course, you have to start with Mario. Yeah,
but like, do you do Luigi next, or do you do like Donkey Kong next? You know, for people like that.
Yeah, I think I'd probably say. Well, I would say Luigi next. Yeah. I would assume.
You think? Well, Yoshi.
Bowser.
Because this is all coinciding.
Yeah,
it's coming out like. Isn't this coming out like May?
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I didn't actually know.
So this is coming out before the Nintendo Game Boy Lego, because that's in October.
Oh, that's mad. I didn't realise that.
And it made me realise, I didn't even say this in the video, but it made me realise afterwards, this is to promote Mario Kart, isn't it? The new game. To help promote that new Mario Kart game. It's so obvious.
And also, because this was released on Mario Day.
Yes.
Or the original news was Mario Day.
Yeah, the original news was Mario Day.
Yeah. And I thought it was a bit random because I know it's Mario related, but I think they did focus it more as a Switch 2.
Exactly. Sort of bit of that. I just think this looks incredible. I just want to cycle through the pictures.
Do you know what? The bit that impressed me the most on it is a stand. You can have it at an angle.
Yeah, you can.
Like that alone.
How do I... Is there a button here? Do I just view all?
Yeah.
There we go. There you go. Yeah, the stand, I love the way you pivot different angles.
Like that. And I love you have an action shot, you know.
It looks I just love, I mean, I've seen people say have issues with the way Mario looks. I think he looks great.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's got to look like Lego, or it'd just be just a statue.
You don't want a Mario face. I love the fact that it looks like Lego. It looks like a toy.
Because
it connects to kind of the childlike thing that we're all after. That's what we want with a toy. You want that to combine the thing we like with something else that we like. That's what it's doing. But yeah, I saw this and thought, oh my God, like you could either get this and be done, or what you're saying. Do you want to get his brother? Do you want to get Donkey Kong? Do you want to get Princess? Do you want to get the whole set of them? And then suddenly, like, you've got like a shelf that's got all the Mario Kart starting line up there. That would be really cool, wouldn't it?
And then the other half leaves you, and then you're living on your own, but at least you're surrounded by your Lego.
We could have like a track where you put that Mario Kart on and it's going around the top of your room.
And then we go and get it and go, woo, go around the track.
Oh my God, that'd be so good. It'd be so good. And just all the different carts, like just following each other. I'd love that. You know, people have a train track in the room.
Or you could have like the track underneath could be like Rainbow Road and it's all lit up.
Oh my God, beautiful. That's beautiful. Or just change the different types of roads at the bottom by the different lighting.
Press a button and it project different roads on it.
We're talking about this too much because it's not going to happen. But I can't remember how much it was.
I can't remember.
Oh, look at that.
I think it's quite impressive. It's quite a nice size because I'm thinking it's going to be quite small, but it looks pretty
I
big.
think they needed to differentiate it from the small Lego sets they've got.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll be honest, I've not been really interested in those. They've announced recently, or they're out now, and the smaller Lego, like Mario sets.
Yeah.
I've never really been that interested in them.
Because they're not that detailed. They're not really a bit. Because this one, you're getting investment time on the building of it. Them other things, you go click, click, done. It's not. It's more of a toy to play with, and these are more of a build display.
Build and display. And this thing, are these perfect rooms? These are not our rooms. Our rooms are just full of crap.
Look at that. I'm thinking, where's all the toot? There's not much toot going on there.
That's not this person who lives here is not us. They've got one geeky thing, and that's it.
They only like Mario Kart, apparently.
Just Mario Kart. It's like, is that it? You stop there?
I bet they don't even have a console. That's all they've got.
He's got they got like 2 pairs of scissors in this.
Yeah, I bet them on that. And that book, I bet the books are books about how to not clutter your place with video games.
Exactly, minimalism and all that stuff.
Yeah, like that one there. The other shot, there's another shot like, sitting just below the bigger one. Yeah, it's like, what's it, the fireplace? What's going on there?
I can't remember the price, was it? Yeah, I might have touched on it.
I can't remember. Oh, there you go. Scroll up. You just missed it.
Oh, yeah. Here you go. 150 quid.
Yeah.
So that I think I said that's like way cheaper than the NES one. More expensive than the Mario World one, which I've kind of gone off. Although I'm not saying I wouldn't want it. I would love the Mario World.
Yeah.
But that compared to this one.
Yeah, but if you had a choice, you'd probably go to.
I go for this one. I think
a bit more.
I think I'd love the Mario World one, but because I love Mario World so much.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's a choice.
You need the Bowser one though.
Oh my god, mate,
that's amazing. The Bowser one.
It's so big. Like that is huge. That's probably the biggest amount of largest amount of pieces, isn't it, for all these?
Yeah, it's quite a lot. It's bigger. Yeah, it's. I don't know the exact scale of it is, but I've had to dedicate a little shelf for it.
Exactly. So I wasn't going to mention that because I made a video on it, but because you put the news in about the Pokemon Lego that's been announced.
Oh yeah, we won't discuss too much on it because it's a bit of a thing for us. We didn't grow up playing Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Both that same sort of situation. But I've got an interesting bit for this though. I showed this to Danielle.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't that excited about it.
Really?
The reason why...
She's massively into it?
Well, like the thing is with it, you've got another company, Mega Bloks, that also make Pokemon. And she's got some of them, and she's happy with those. Unless they do something really special with this. Yeah. It's a bit like, well, it's kind of already been done. It's not that special.
They could be... I mean, they're going to be aware of that, aren't they? And they could make it move and do things. I mean, I don't know Pokemon, but this is obviously a Pikachu thing.
That's a Pikachu one, yeah. But then that's the other thing, Danny was a bit like, she went, Pikachu.
Because they've already got Pikachus.
We already have everything's a million Pikachu things. But then again, like Mario, Pikachu's the face of
the thing
Pokemon.
that makes me excited because of the Mega Bloks thing.
Yeah,
because they're being able to cross over, and I didn't think you'd be able to cross over because I always think, Mega Bloks have got Pokemon, they won't come over. But this, because they've been able to do with this, what else from Mega Bloks can they do that with? So, Mega Bloks, they do Masters of the Universe. So
do they?
Castle Grayskull and all that, and I'm like, please.
So they could do that as well then.
Let Lego do it, please. I mean, I don't want. I've never used Mega Bloks, but I don't know. I don't know if it looks as good as Lego.
It depends on what it is. Like Danny's got a, I think it's like an Eevee, one of those. I think it's an Eevee. I can't remember which one.
What's the quality like?
When she built it, really nice, good quality plastics on it. It's just weird because probably it's like a brand thing, isn't it? When you want to go Lego, you want Lego, did you? You know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But when it's that, if it Mega Bloks, really, blimey.
No,
you kind of like you turn your nose up like a bit like.
I just wanted Lego to take over Masters Universe, but I don't think they will. I think Mega Bloks have got it. I just love
do you know what is a factor? It depends how the movie does. If the movie does really well, they might start.
Maybe
Lego might do some stuff for it.
I've got a clip about that out. I don't know if you saw it, but I was talking about the movie.
Yes, yeah.
And it's just like I need to put that out there to get all our thoughts out because it's just one of those things that keeps coming back to me, and I need to have that there just in case, so we can go back next year and think about.
Can't wait. Yeah,
like we go and watch the movie, and then we can go back and see this. We'll just talk about it every time there's a bit of news coming out. So that's it for news because I wanted us to have a main chat now, and now 2 hours in. Right, so the Nintendo Direct is happening April 2nd. Yeah. And we know not that much about the Switch 2, apart from the fact it's going to be bigger. It's got magnetic Joy-Cons. It's got some kind of mouse capabilities to it, and Mario Kart is potentially a new game, a launch game. Now, I wanted us to talk about, because we won't be able to do this next week or whatever.
No, because the news will be out.
Exactly, news will be out.
Our predictions.
So, what is our predictions? What are we hoping for, and what are we like hoping doesn't happen? Have you got anything that comes to mind straight away? I've got a bit of a list to fall back on, but if there's anything that comes to mind straight away, I'd love to know, because I want to get that excited about it as much as everyone else is getting.
Oh
excited.
yeah, I think it was one of the things that I'm excited about is be able to play the previous games on the Switch 1 games.
So backwards compatibility.
But the thing I'm hoping in my prediction bit is that if you load a game, because the game doesn't save on the cartridge, it saves on the Switch.
Ooh.
Oh, no, wait, does it? No, let me think about it.
It saves on the Switch, doesn't it?
Saves on the Switch, don't save on the cartridge.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if, unless you have to have an online, because I know with online at the moment with a Switch, you upload your save files.
That's part of what you're paying for, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that they'll be able to pull down, or hopefully pull down previous saves, because you've been playing a game on your Switch for ages. Switch 2 comes out. Obviously, you want to play it on that, so you can then get that save over and continue it on the new Switch.
Yeah. Do you know what? I didn't think about that. It's taking over saves. That's a really good point. Because I was still stuck on, we've heard that there will be backwards compatibility, which is great, but it was never confirmed if it's physical as well as digital.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
I know the only thing they've said is like not all games will work, and everyone's just took that as like, what's the robot
Ring Fit stuff,
Ring Fit, and the one the Labo and all that stuff.
Oh,
everyone was thinking that stuff. But yeah, I don't think that's ever been confirmed. I might be wrong about that. But
no, that's why hopefully that gets a bit more addressed, because people, even though people want to see the new stuff, they want to see, because the Switch has got such an impact now, and so many people have it, and they want to continue the games, and they're still making games for it. They want to make sure that it's still worth buying Switch games and play it on their Switch too.
Exactly, and also it gives us confidence to know if they're going to support physical games, that they're going to start putting more physical games out as well. Because I don't want to get to the point with the Switch 2 where they'll support the old games, but not really come out with physical games anymore. It'll just be digital. But if they're going to put that cartridge slot in there, it makes you think, if they're going to make that effort, that makes you think that they're going to support like physical games in the future as well. Hopefully.
Well, I think so, because the nice thing is about Nintendo being quite old-fashioned company, they keep old-fashioned things, which I'm kind of happy about, because I like physical media, and they are maybe more towards subscription stuff. Obviously, with the eShop, you don't buy your NES games anymore; it's all the like the monthly sub and all that. But then you're still getting collections coming out for it.
Yeah,
and it's still massive. People are buying physical games for it, because I know you picked up that Karate Kid game, physical version of it, which I didn't think it even had a physical until you showed it.
I was very. Do you know what? It's again another one of those where it took a punt, because there were no pictures on like Amazon. It was £17. This was, and I thought, well, it connects to my nostalgia. I love the Karate Kid, and it's supposed to be an okay game, not brilliant, but okay. And that's what you get in there. It's always that lackluster display. Also, these notes.
Oh, I hate all that writing.
That's terrible. Just put that on a piece of paper or something, and then give us another bit of artwork inside. But yeah, I was very happy with that. But yeah, I'm hoping that they support physical as well as digital. That was my issue with backwards compatibility. It was never confirmed, and I hope it just doesn't come across like, oh yeah, everything on your, that you bought previously will work, but nothing physical. But yeah, because they got the cartridge slot on there, I assume that's not going to be an issue.
It just makes it interesting to know if because they have to change the shape of a Switch 2 cartridge so people don't accidentally buy it for their Switch.
It's a good point, yeah.
Or something like that. That's the only thing. Unless they do what they did with the DS, because with the DS and 3DS, they're similar looking cartridges, but they've got like an extra like little notch bit at the end of a 3DS one.
Okay.
So it wouldn't fit in, and it's colour difference enough that you could tell which is a DS and which is a 3DS game. So they might go down that route where it'll be slightly different shaped, so it won't fit in your Switch.
So that's an interesting prediction. So I mean, we've talked about like if they will, just support backwards compatibility. Do you think in the Direct they will show off the cartridges?
If they do, it'd be one of these quick like renders of it
Going in.
spinning and going in.
Yeah, might do that.
Yeah,
Because I don't
yeah.
think I don't think they'll go technical like all the other companies do and tell you about how the processes and all that stuff. Or they'll keep it very simple.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Nintendo don't
Or they
really
go,
talk about that, do they?
10 times faster then, or
Yeah, they
something.
might
rather
say
than,
that about like the memory capacity,
yeah.
like it's twice as big or whatever. They'll do things like that, and maybe with a bit of detail on the screen.
Well,
But
the same they did that with the Switch OLED. They kind of didn't really talk too much. They just said sharper screen with an OLED screen, and that's all they said. They didn't say, "Oh, it's so many more pixels like
it's kind
this."
of what
All the
you
tech
need
people
for the
did,
broader
but they
appeal.
didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, me included. Like, I just want to know what's better about it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I'm just going to say
yeah.
that. So that was one of them. Talking about the screen, then I'm hoping you go OLED straight from the beginning.
It'd be mad if they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Because other than it'd be this whole a next version of OLED in it, but OLED screens, I thought the whole reason why I went for them because at that point, because I still see the Switch come out last year, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Feels like about 8 years ago, mate. Full
yeah,
years ago.
and then and the screen tech was around, but obviously OLED screens were more expensive, so that's why Nintendo opted out for it. But because screen technology any
Moved on now,
technology progresses, OLED screens will go down in price to be made because they're easier to make, more accessible. So in my thoughts, it would be OLED straight away, and not.
I hope
There'd
so.
be some better one out there that they're not.
It seems silly because it feels like a backstep because it's
Yeah,
like you've already put OLED on now.
yeah.
And it feels like they'll go to whatever the successor of OLED is. Again, I'm not going to pretend to
Yeah, I
know
don't
what
really know
screens are.
either, to be honest.
I
But
don't know.
there always is. There's always saying
Like
the
4
next
or
one.
5 years into this, they'll bring out the next version, which will
Yeah.
probably I think I'll probably opt with. So I think I think there will be OLED straight from the bat.
I will say the same actually. If it isn't, I'll be quite gutted because it just seems like
This is something I didn't put on my list, but I just thought, do you think they'll lead with more than one model?
Yeah, that's the interesting bit because before when I brought out when I first showed off the Switch from the original trailer, I think they only ever showed just the one version of it.
Yeah.
But the only difference between the two versions were two different Joy-Con sets.
Yeah, different Joy-Con, different light, the colours.
Do you think they could just I
could say they could. I mean, I don't. It's not very Nintendo, but could they come out with one that's got more storage space? I just don't think it's like a good message for them because people are like, I don't know which one to get.
I think I don't think they're going to do it because I think they made that mistake with the Wii U because you had the white version which was like 4 gig, I think, and then you had the black version which was 8 gig, which is both terrible sizes for digital games.
God, yeah,
that's like 2 games.
Nothing
ridiculous. So I think that because you've also got the micro SD card slot in the back, and because it's very accessible in a tablet style, I think they would just have it be one size model on there, but I still don't think they're going to go crazy. We're not going to get a 250 a terabyte drive in there or something. Do you know what I mean?
No, and we're not going to get like a Switch Lite version as well, where the Joy-Cons are stuck to it as well.
Yeah,
like, they might get something like that later on, but I don't think they're going to release. I think they're going to keep messaging super simple about like this is the Switch too.
Yeah, they've got to do something to do it because they don't want to have a Wii U situation again with the Wii.
Yeah.
And also, and a lot of people have been criticised already from people I've spoken to, and you probably have as well, where they kind of go, "We're excited about Switch 2," and people are like, "Looks the same. What's the big deal?"
Same thing, bigger screen. I think the most part people will be saying that. I think there's going to say because they are acting quite safe with this thing. I'm happy with that. Like I just want a better Switch experience. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
And one of those things for me is enhanced battery, a better battery. It's a bigger device now, so it's going to need a bigger battery and an OLED screen as well.
Yeah. Well, because they really did that with the original Switch. I don't know if we spoke about it before, but the original Switch had one battery. But then before the OLED come in, there was another Switch that came out, the Pikachu and Eevee edition.
Yeah, you
that actually has a better battery than the original one. But they didn't talk much about it, but it definitely was better. Yeah. And then the OLED one come out, and then they talked about the battery as well. But then that's the same as the one without the OLED, the next model, the sign of in-between model. Yeah. And also they're going to have to up the battery because the more powerful it is. But then that comes into the other case of because when people hacked the Switch, they found out it could be overclocked. But I think the reason why they don't have it as high as that because they
Battery
said
drain.
in these reviews drain the battery like crazy.
Yeah,
And they
drain the
don't want
battery.
people to be. It's hard because when it's a device that's dedicated with a battery, obviously you want it to be really powerful, but then you still got to remember battery life.
Exactly. That's why I don't like really play amazing games on the phone or whatever. I've never really thought because I thought I don't want to be out playing a game and then your phone dies because you've been playing a graphically intensive game. And I
Yeah.
kind of get the same thing with my Switch when I'm out. I'm like, oh, I better pause it now or whatever, because of like
It's like life support. You have this extra thing on the side, don't you?
exactly.
You know.
And the thing with, you know what? Another thing I would like as well, you can put it in sleep mode, but it still badly drains the battery. I'd like a better, a more efficient way of putting it in sleep mode and it reserves the battery better. Because
Yeah.
how many times you put your Switch in sleep mode and then you go back to it and it's lost like
Oh,
50%? You're like, oh my God, what?
that's one good thing about having a Switch Lite and normal Switch because we go out for the weekend because like in the mornings we go to like a coffee shop and I might play a bit of Switch or something, but I sometimes forget to put it on charge or whatever, and I pick up the Switch Lite, battery's dead, and I go,
Yeah.
oh, and so I go, all right then, I'll pick up the switches in the dock. So I take that one instead.
Yeah.
But then you don't always have that choice to swap between
Yeah.
two of them because you don't always pay attention to it on what battery life. So hopefully, better sleep mode. But then the thing I would like with it probably won't have it. I want another Street Pass thing.
Oh,
I
that'll be
want Street
great.
Pass with it,
That'd be
but then it
great.
will
Yeah.
be always running in the background.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
That's
But
the
I do
only
like,
thing.
the options have like these different fun apps that Nintendo are kind
Yeah, I
of
want
known
fun
for.
apps on it, which the Switch
Yeah.
kind of
I
just
mean,
went. We
I
only got
love the Wii one. You know the one. What was the Wii one called? Where you create a character and he goes off into other people's Wii's. Do you remember? And he come back and got letters. The Wii Verse or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, whatever that was.
The
I love that.
Miiverse,
Miiverse.
yeah.
Remember? Do you remember when you say like get up in the morning and your Wii with the blue line around it because you got a message or an update or something?
Yeah, it's always
That was
exciting.
fun. That
Yeah,
was. I
yeah.
do like that. I mean, I'd love to bring that kind of excitement back to it, but again, it's like leaving it on. But maybe only when it's like hooked up to the charger, it does that. It looks
Yeah,
out
with
the
the
thing.
charger, you can go to a different mode and it uses it, or you can have an option that when you go to put it in sleep mode, it has like low power
Yeah.
version or like active one or something in
Yeah.
case you do want it on.
That's a really good one. I'd
Like,
like
yeah.
also we were talking about charging. I'd like them to give an official option to charge it without the dock, like different ways with like USBs and stuff like that as well.
That's what people are predicting with the USB-C port on top of the
Top
Switch.
of it, yeah. So you can use.
Because I got myself a little stand for mine, which I can plug in a charger in the bottom.
Yeah, same with mine. Yeah.
So that's why I do it, because that's why I don't ever use even though I've got an original Switch and the Switch Lite doesn't even have a stand on it. You can't use it as a stand, but then I don't really mind that. But I mean, yeah, a way to do that would be better with charging. But that could be why it's on top then, because it could be used for peripherals. Like people said, it might be a camera you could put on top of there,
Yeah.
or some sort of fun accessory. But also use it because it's USB-C. It's quite universal from its name, that it could be used for charging.
It would be great, wouldn't it?
So I feel I would like that.
I love you'll never do this, but I love the idea of it being able to dock without the dock, so you could use the Switch as a screen in the same way you used to be able to use the Wii U. So you use the way you dock a Switch now, it hides the screen, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Do you know what I
use
mean?
additional screen, yeah.
But imagine an additional screen. But the fact that I don't think they'll do that because obviously in the initial advert they do not show that. They show
the dock. It's covered up. They want it so that when you're at home, you're at home
on a
gaming
TV, looking at
on a TV.
And
when you're
I
out,
suppose the messaging there is that they don't want you to get confused with the Wii U as well. They go,
that's the other thing. 'Cause they know it. They found out using two screens doesn't really work.
Doesn't
But then
really work.
I
Yeah.
did like aspects
I
of
like
it.
the idea of it and what like developers can do with it.
Yeah.
But if it's not there at launch and it's not something that you can initially do, and there's something you got to do with third party, whatever, then there's no point.
Yeah.
There's no point. I don't care. What else have I got? Expanded storage options. I've put that. I think like if we could get more, I don't know, maybe another slot for another micro SD card or something in there. so it has another. Because I fill mine up really quickly. Don't know about you, and I'm
Yeah,
archiving all the time.
I'm the same. Like I kind of got I sort of try and buy a newer
Yeah, I don't
SD
think it is.
cards.
I mean, this is definitely not going
But
to happen because we've seen the device. But
yeah,
I would love another way of like just I don't know. It'd probably be from the servers or something. Maybe storing it online, and suddenly you've got like when you're online and on the Wi-Fi, suddenly your games appear or something like that. Maybe something like that, so you can access your game. I don't know something because I've run out of storage so much. But then
well,
again,
yeah,
I
I'm
don't
the
want to get
same. I go
dependent on
through it. I
servers.
download a couple of demos because I think I'll give them a go, but I've not got around to playing them. But I've ended up going through and deleting stuff because I haven't had room for anything. I have bought because obviously I buy physical games, but some games still don't have a physical release,
Yeah,
so you have to buy a digital version.
yeah.
You know, and I want better options with the internal space with the. But I reckon they're still going to keep with. I can't remember if they have they said what storage it has on it.
I don't know. No, I don't think you've said it on the new
Oh,
one.
but
No.
I'm pretty sure they'll probably stick with micro SD because it's really accessible. You can get loads of versions
What's
of
the
them.
high? Do you know what the highest space of a micro SD is? I don't know. Off the top of my head.
You can get up to a 2 terabyte one,
Hmm.
but not every device
I'm
supports
going to
two
say there's
terabytes.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
there's
a
something
safe. Yeah.
special about them. But yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, storage space would be better with it, but
Yeah, this is one that is not dependent on the console itself, but just where Nintendo's heading. Less dependency on playing via the servers rather than like the physical game or the downloadable game. You know, when you get a game and it's like, oh, you got to have an internet connection, and you're playing it through a server. You know, those
yeah,
kind of games. I don't like that, and I kind of want to
no.
see that trend die off a little bit. But what I do, you kind of made me think about this before when you said about demos. I don't mind if there's a demo for a game and you launch it up and you play that online. You play the demo or something like that. That'd be pretty. You don't have to download it. You
Yeah,
just go, oh, I'll
because
play.
it's going to be like you play it a few times to try it out, and then you go, "Oh,
Exactly.
I'm happy not to
If it's
have
a
that
few
on there."
clicks or throw taps and suddenly you're in a demo of a game,
Yeah,
amazing. Let me do that. I mean, let me do that anyway. But the whole like I've got to download a demo, so I've got enough space. Oh, but if you're just playing it online, oh god, let me do
yeah,
that. So that's less dependency on those server games. But again, that's definitely like a personal thing for me, really. And I think I'm fighting the tides with that one because
yeah.
that's
That's the
going to
only
happen.
problem. It's going that way, but then it is nice. The only thing
The
I will
games are
say that
bigger.
it's always nice having something portable is when it's a game that you play regularly, say Mario Kart.
Hmm.
Even though I like to have a physical copy, that's the sort of game I'd be quite happy to have digital always on the Switch because it's something you just pick up and play in any
Yeah.
time, all the time. So there's certain ones that I don't mind it.
In an ideal
No.
world, and they'll never do this, and because no console does this. So when you buy a record, sometimes a vinyl record,
Mhm.
majority of the time you'll get a little sheet of paper with an MP3 download for the album.
Oh yes,
Do you know where
yeah,
I'm going
yeah,
with this?
yeah.
Imagine if you did this with a video game, we get a digital version of the game as well as the physical. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Some companies do that actually. The company we said we weren't going to talk too much about, but it's a good
A
thing for a
limited run.
change. Limited Runner did that when I bought Night Trap on the Switch because it was
Ah,
delayed. They sent me a digital version
oh, that's
as
cool.
well. So
That's cool.
it just for nothing. Go, oh, here you go. You can play this version. So and some other games that have come, they've actually have had a digital version available additionally
I
with it.
like that. Is that when you buy like a special edition though of it, like a really
Yeah,
expensive one?
it's never the standard one.
Not
So
one that
that's
you
always
can't go
something
to
that's
Ansted and get
additional.
it with your cart. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that
I
would be a
think
nice option to have
yeah,
that to have both. It's a bit like films did that, didn't they? You could buy a
yeah.
4K version, but you also had maybe a DVD copy and a download
Oh yeah.
version of the
Although there's
movie,
an
things
issue
like
with
that.
those. A lot of those codes don't work anymore because those companies shut
Oh,
down. So
yeah,
right,
but
back
that was that sort of
another
option.
thing about the Switch, right? Again, this we blended into like where Nintendo's heading as well, and with
Mm.
what they might announce as well. I would love them to announce, and now this is definitely like for me, and I don't know if anyone else is watching this. They'll probably say no achievements. I know this is very controversial.
We campaign this like all the time.
Yeah, but I don't think because people. I know there are people adamant against it because he think, oh, Nintendo's a safe place from achievements and all that stuff, and it's safe for kids because they're not competing against each other. Although they're all playing Fortnite, so
Yeah, but they're playing Fortnite. You
exactly,
know,
and they're
so
competing like crazy. But and also, maybe to switch it off. You've dipped a toe in the water because you've got that kind of like a reward system where you play a game and then you get like some coins and you can trade them
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
So they're dipping a toe in the water with the kind of
yeah.
things you got to do, but it's very simple. I would love it because it would breathe so much more life into all the Nintendo Switch Online
Mm.
stuff they've got. If you put achievements on the retro stuff as well as the new
Yeah.
stuff.
And we know that unofficial sources can do it without any problem, and
Oh,
they're just
exactly. I know. And how good would
a
it be?
button.
Like, it would transform, like, Twitch streams that we'd all be doing official achievement hunting for Switch games and all that. It would make me want to play all the Marios again. Like, just to kind of, I've completed that. There's a little check mark or something like that.
Well,
I'd love that.
that's like did I mention this in the last one? I can't remember, but the Miu A30 little handheld thing that has Wi-Fi, and I've
Connects.
attached it to retro
Retro
achievement.
achievements, yeah. I've got
And
an
I've been
account for
playing,
that. I just never really used it, and I should
you know,
use it.
it's really not. And I could imagine how Nintendo, because I've been playing Kirby's Dream Land on it. And an achievement pops up on that game. Well, I've known that game for years, playing it on Game Boy. So playing with achievements was like, it did go, oh, that's cool, because I beat a boss without being hit.
Yeah.
And it popped up saying, I don't know, damageless boss battle. And I'm like, oh, cool. And then it went, but then I got hit on the next boss, and I kind of went, I want to go back to that one and try and do it without it.
Yeah.
So it has that
There's a
drawing.
psychological element to it, which I
Yeah.
can't really explain. Like, we love playing these games as kids, but when we're adults, we almost like need a different like nudge in a different direction with it, or
Especially when they're small games as well, or not
small
very long
games.
games.
Yeah.
And you
Like,
love
I
it, and
did,
you
I
want
did
more
a
out of
challenge
it.
last year trying to beat 100 games on stream, and that's how I was able to play low. I wouldn't have played the vast amount of games I played and enjoyed the hell out of them, but it was kind of almost giving me like an achievement progress system. And for the most part, I enjoyed it, but overall, I kind of didn't, because it pushed me to play games I didn't want to play. But if there was an achievement system for like Mario 3, and I might be able to play a little bit differently than I've played before, or see maybe some stages that I've never seen before, I'm like, oh my god, I didn't know we can do this. Or interesting ones, like there's a good like achievement where was doing on Twitch a couple of years ago, where you try and get like infinite one-ups on this, like on the third or fourth stage of Mario 3, when it all these like goons looking at the
they keep
pipe.
bouncing on that shelf.
And it was really cool. I was like, oh god, I didn't even think about playing the game like this. But imagine if that was just built in. I mean, we're preaching this to the choir here, because most people have had achievements on Microsoft, Xbox, and PlayStation for years. I just feel like, for me personally, I'd love to see them, but I totally understand why people don't want to see them.
Yeah.
But
It's just extra fun element. It's just like an extra bit to add to something. And you do sort of get that through other games anyway. If you finish that, you get like an extra suit for Mario in Odyssey with things like that anyway. And it makes you want to replay to try it out with something else. But yeah, I would definitely, an achievement system, at least, again, like you said, have an option just to turn it off. Say you don't want achievements. All right, press the button.
Done.
Off. Leave it off. Or if you got profiles on it, I'm assuming they'd be the same profiles like a Switch. You could have like your achievement profile and your kind of free play one you don't want the achievements on, or something.
Exactly, yeah. That just to give us the choice.
That sort of thing.
Give us a choice. And I'd love more. I mean, if we're talking about like the kind of the social side of things, I'd love a way to be able to join games way more easier, and have leaderboards between friends and all that stuff. Give us the promise of that, and because that's not been there in the past, and they're catching up slowly. And I know they're very cautious and apprehensive about doing too much of that, because Nintendo is definitely a family-oriented console. Yeah. But I would love the opportunity to be able to kind of, even like gifting a friend a game or something, on digitally. There's nothing like that, is there? Which is so odd.
No, not really. What was it? Oh no, I think it was Steam. Because Steam, you can do that.
Steam, you can do that. Yeah. I don't know if you can do it on Xbox and PlayStation, but I presume so. By now, it just seems like a simple thing you could do. You can do it on GOG.
Yeah, I
don't know. It's been so long. But just more social kind of enhancements, because it feels so locked off.
A good way of challenging stuff that I got into a little while ago. Obviously, we can't do it now. When I was doing Mario Maker, and there was a few of us all trying to beat the shortest level ever. It was like a 2-second level, but but it was a way to make it do the level quicker.
Yeah.
So, and I don't normally speed run things, but that one, because it was a fun little level, you kept on trying to beat each other's scores, and then it actually did pop up on the screen.
Oh, I was going to say, does it do that?
Your score.
Yeah, I love that. Do you know what that makes me think of? Do you ever play Burnout Paradise back in the day? That did the same thing, where like your friend is just beat you on that track, and I was like, oh my god. That is great. I want that. That would be like it for me. Just integrated the kind of like ways to bump you to go. Oh, I'm gonna have to give that one more another go or something like that.
Yeah,
That'd
try
be
and get
cool.
slightly higher one, and yeah, anything that's like that sort of competition where you don't, because if they're worried about people talking to other users, strangers, it don't matter. It's score based, and it's just
Score based, yeah,
usernames
simple.
on it.
I'm not talking about a messaging system at all.
No,
By the
I
way,
don't
because
want
I
none of
know
that
that
stuff. I don't.
don't
Who
need
cares
it. Don't
about
need
that?
it.
Who
We've
needs
got
it?
phones for that, haven't we, and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I don't care. And I know like the voice stuff. I don't care. But that stuff integrated systems between friends
Yeah.
because that gives you a. There's no point in having friends. It's no
It's
point
weird. The only
really.
thing I do it is to see what people have been playing.
Exactly, and
That is
you can
literally
add
all you use
people
it
through
for.
Mario Kart and
Oh
all that
yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
but
yeah,
instead it's really simple stuff, isn't it? You
yeah.
don't really get the integration you kind of want. I love that little bit of competition though with the that Mario Maker thing's awesome.
That was really good, especially when you've played a level and before someone said it, it's popped up. This person has beat your score, and you go, awesome.
Brilliant. That's
So
what I
yeah,
want. Okay, prediction. Do
I
you
love
think they're
that.
gonna end? They're gonna mention anything about like this social integration, or do you think they're gonna leave that for another
I think
direct because it's gonna be a console focused?
it's going to be console focused. I don't think they're going to go. Things going to annoy. I reckon it's going to annoy me with it is that they're not going to go too much into the software because for me, I'm quite geeky about what's the OS looking like
Yes,
what's
because
the
I was going to
layout.
jump in. Are we gonna get themes this time round?
Again, it annoys me with the original Switch. We have themes, black or white.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
been that for the entire duration.
So this
And
is the
I want,
time for to
yeah,
kind of this. I think I predict that they could mention themes properly this time round because I think this is the time to do it to make it look different than the
because
Switch
they
one.
did themes on the 3DS, and they
Yeah,
were
they
brilliant.
did.
There were
They were
free
good.
ones, there were
Yeah.
paid ones.
And you could
It was
tie it
good.
into like games that are coming out to kind of
Yeah,
the way they do with the Tetris 99. You kind of tie it
yeah,
in with you can get this theme or whatever because this game coming
yeah.
out.
When you win so many battles, yeah, or even if
Exactly.
you pre-order a game through, like,
Get a
if
fee
you
free.
pre-order it or whatever, and you get a code, you could put it in, you get a free theme with it or
Exactly.
something
Isn't
like
it
that.
mad? We're talking like that. Like every console's had themes for years. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, again, you said 3DS, are they? Did the Wii U
Free-
have themes?
What's that?
Did the Wii U have themes?
No,
It didn't.
no
I
at
never
all.
had a Wii U.
Nah.
I still want to
It
get
had
one.
a weird layout anyway because you had all the characters moving, and then you had just the icons like an iPhone, and that was sort of it
Okay. So
really.
I'm gonna copy that.
There
But
wasn't any really.
I predict they're gonna introduce themes. That's where I'm gonna put
Yeah.
myself out there. I think they need a way to say this looks different than a Switch one. Do you know what I mean? Because I think if it looks the same, people are gonna go, "I've already got one of these.
Yeah.
I've already got the OLED one. I've already got the Switch Lite or whatever. Why is it's a bit bigger? It's got to look
It's got to look
different.
vastly different and make
Yeah,
it more appealing. Because that's what I mean. A thing that I've said before about themes, like even if you don't want to allow users to put their own pictures on, because it can go
yeah,
all
good.
sorts of
I don't
ways.
want that. Yeah, it's
No,
never good.
but imagine you're playing a game and you hit just the. Like I've been doing this since I've had the Switch. If I see a beautiful scene of like in a game, I do a screenshot,
Screenshot. Yeah,
hoping for the one day that I could apply that as my background on it.
yeah. Oh God.
It's
Oh,
not
that
a
was
thing, but you
also
can hack it to do it.
talk on those screenshots. Allow
Yeah.
us to add those to our profile page or something like that, so people can go in there
Yes.
and see. Like Steam does that, doesn't it? Or used to. I don't know if it does it now, but you have a little
Oh
page
yeah,
where you can
yeah. You can
put
have like
screenshots.
screenshots of the game. I used to do it all the time. Upload
Yeah.
that or little clips of a game, but it's available like socially
little
to
clips will
see
be good as well.
something silly you did in a game.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
quite
like a
good.
win
But,
in Mario Kart or something like that. You want to just upload it. Oh, that was that time. We can go back and see like that
yeah,
win.
and I've got some little clips on
Love
my
that.
Switch still of a 30-second clip of me just overtaking someone last minute.
Oh,
But I
and
haven't done nothing else with it other than awkwardly trying to post it on Twitter X
Yeah.
by doing a QR code, then scanning the QR code, then sending it back to the Switch,
it's
then
so
going to
weird,
the next
isn't
door
it?
neighbour, asking
So
them,
weird.
could I borrow your phone? Copy. Yeah.
Exactly. It's all over the
Yeah.
place. But if you had a proper little profile page, again, I don't think they're going to announce that. I think they're going to keep it simple with this looks graphically different. They might do it. Like there might be a quick thing. Oh, and pairs, customization on profile pages and things like that. And maybe you got little clips you could add, so it makes it a little bit more social.
Yeah.
Or just a little hub for yourself, so you can be proud of like the games that you collect and all the games you play. So maybe something around that. Okay, what else have I got? Okay, if we're going to talk about that, I know this is not again a console specific thing, but one I'm crying out for: fix the eShop. I hate it. I hate it
Oh,
so
oh
much.
God.
I
When
hate
you're
it so much.
going through the screens and having to scroll through,
Oh my word! It's
wait for
it's
it to
it's
load.
literally that
Oh
screen.
my,
Do you want where you're
oh
going for the see current offers or whatever it
yeah,
is,
yeah,
and you just gotta you can't just cycle down because you just gotta wait for the next 6 to load, and you go no,
yeah. It's
no.
loads of them. It
Can you
ain't
just
like the
tell? Can you tell
website
me
you're
how many
scrolling
there are?
through.
No, and you keep going down, keep going
Yeah,
down. It's
yeah.
so annoying. Or like if it's intensive because of like the graphic is gonna load, maybe it could be an option to just take the graphics off and just put a list of the name. I don't know.
It's,
Maybe that's not there, is
well,
it?
also when it first started out, it was manageable when the first Switch first came
Yeah.
out because not many people had that many games out. You could literally click on it, a bit like old YouTube. You'd be able to refresh the screen, see a couple of new games. Oh, okay. But now they do it
It's
in droves, and you just
ridiculous.
miss stuff.
And I've seen people go, "Oh, what's the point? Why are you moaning for that? Just go on the website." I bought a Switch. I want to be able to do it on the Switch.
I bought stuff. I've only ever made a decision on buying a game through the Switch. I'll get my Switch out and I would go through new
Yeah,
releases when I
yeah,
could be bothered. And I'll get hold of a demo of a game first of all through there, and I go, oh, I like that. And then maybe a minute or if I did really like it there, I would be straight back on the Switch again, and then go that option that says purchase game, and then
yeah.
go for it through there. But then sometimes you have to go. It say, oh, you want to buy this game? Press a button. It take you to the eShop, and then you'd have to try and get it through
Oh
there.
God, yeah,
But
yeah. That's it.
an easy way, but they want people. You just think they'd want to have an easy way through that because they want people to see it and buy it there and then,
Yeah.
rather than because if you really want it, you'd be like, oh, I'll buy it another day. If you got to load up your PC to get into it,
Oh
you
God, I
just
don't want to do that. I don't want. I want to get. I
you
just want to
want
be
you
able
want
to easily.
impulse buys for
I want
them.
to
It'd be good
easily
for
add
them.
a game to the wish list and easily find the wish list. Like if I'm even trying to find in my head how to get to the wish list, I've got to press this menu button and it's on the right somewhere. It's like why isn't it?
You got to go over your profile arc on the far right, which people probably might not even know it does
No,
that. And then also there's a limit of how many you can put in your wish list as well.
is there?
Yeah, I hit it and I went, oh. And also, if
Oh,
you buy a game, it doesn't remove it from a wish list.
yeah.
So it just says purchased. And
Do
you
you ever
go,
get any notifications saying that a game on your wish list is on sale?
no, only if I literally go into. Oh, no, you do get an email.
Oh, do
But
you?
how many times you check your email to
I
say
don't
there's
think
a
I got.
game in
Yeah,
a
I
sale?
don't know if I've got that email. I think I get it from like Xbox or something because I signed up for Game Pass one
Oh, I
time.
bet you the money you are getting it, but it's probably going into a
Spam.
spam one,
Yeah,
or you've not
maybe.
paid attention. It says something like, your wish list games are on sale at the moment, and
Yeah.
there will be a link for it. But again, it's extra effort because unless you're looking at your email, and if you've got a load of spam emails in there anyway, it's
Do you
not
know what
worth
it
it.
needs? It needs a new tab on the actual, a new thing to click on your Switch app, which is like a for you app. We click on it
Yeah,
and it's got like these that are currently on sale, and also because you play these other games, you might like these and use the
yeah.
same thing that Steam does. That kind of
No,
like
yeah, Steam does a fantastic
it does a
job of
really
that.
good job of that. So you like Metroidvanias? Here's some other Metroidvanias, and these one on sale. There's
Yeah.
more chance of me going. All right, I'll buy that because I'm a sucker for Switch sales. If they're super cheap, I
Oh,
will get them.
yeah.
Especially over a big sale, I will pick up a few. So if they're better at getting telling me there's a sale on and the particular games that I like on there, if I've got a hunt, there's less chance of me buying them or finding them.
Yeah, because like you probably do this as well. You go into these special offers, and if it ain't on the main screen, on the first screen you see,
Yeah,
on saying go, oh, that's on sale, is it?
yeah, exactly.
You won't then. I might scroll maybe two or three down, and I get bored,
Yeah,
and I don't do any more after that.
we're the
So
opposite of T Rexes. We don't want to hunt, do we?
no,
That's what it
yeah,
is.
yeah, we just want it just to be thrown our faces with it. But then the thing that's been quite that I didn't realise. For example, there was a game that was bought for me. Do you remember a cartoon called Masupalami? It was like a
No,
yellow character that had a big tail. It was big in France. We did get a
no.
small series. It was a Disney property. But anyway, there's a game. There was a game of that which someone bought for me on Steam.
Yeah,
And I played it, and it plays a bit like Donkey Kong Country mixed with Rayman. I loved it, right? But I'm loving it on this. I'm playing it on PC, but I'm like, oh, I want to play it on the Switch. And then I went on the Switch. I did a search for it. It was like £1.20 on the Switch,
wow.
and then I bought it instantly. So I got
Yeah,
two of them, but then I didn't even know it even existed on the
yeah.
Switch until I did a search for it.
It's weird, isn't it? Because the first party games are always expensive, even when they have a
Yeah.
discount.
Oh yeah, like £40 now down to 33. And you still
Yeah.
go,
But everything
nah.
else is actually pretty good. like the
Yeah.
sales on. Like I've got a really good library, and that's why I'm really like obsessive about. Like, hopefully we can take that library
I
over.
really hope we get a library because there's stuff that
Yeah.
is only available digital. I want to be able to download on the Switch.
I wonder if
too.
they do a thing that if you've got it on Switch and you want to access it on Switch 2, you can only access that game, that license that game on one console at a time. Do you know what I mean? So you can't like play it on the Switch 1 as well as play and
Well,
take
to
it up
be
and play
honest,
Switch
they
2.
technically already got that in place with the Switch. Because if I buy a game on the Switch and I've got my profile on Danny's
Oh, that's a good
Switch
point.
and
Yeah,
mine,
you're able to do that.
yeah, which is actually really good because it means you could both have the game, but if I'm not playing it, she can jump on it on through her account, but because it's downloaded under my name,
Yeah,
you can still play it. But if we try and
interesting.
play at the same time, I'll have priority
Gets
over
locked out.
her.
Yeah,
So if they did that sort of situation, I don't mind that
yeah.
because you
I mean,
know,
that's kind of the same for anything else, isn't it?
yeah, oh
Um,
yeah,
so the last thing I've got before I get into like proper predictions
mm,
is I really hope it makes use of the mouse that's showing off. The whole
yeah,
mouse thing.
me
I
too.
hope it's not just like a quick gimmick that they have like a couple of games for and
Mm.
that's it. I'm hoping there's something kind of like built in that you use it for. Like, what would be cool if they had built into it the mouse, the fly swapper game from Mario Paint
Yeah,
or
there's
something
a
like
little
that.
thing to play about with. Yeah,
That'd be really cool. Something like because I want to see Mario Paint on there. I would love to see DS games make a comeback somehow and use that as a stylus in some
again,
way.
that would be what quite good. We're using it with the stylus stuff. Also, there's a game that's on the Super Famicom, Mario and Wario, and it's a mouse game. And it's got
Oh,
Mario. I don't know if you've ever
I've
seen
never
it.
seen it. No.
Oh, basically, Mario's got a bucket on his head, and the mouse cursor is a fairy. And basically, you have to get Mario to get to the top or another part of the level. But to get there, you have to help guide him. He's constantly walking.
Wow.
So
Okay. So it's a simple kind of like just
yeah,
kids game, or is
it
it gets
well,
quite
it's
tricky?
oh no, it gets well difficult.
Oh,
I've
really?
not completed it. I've got the proper copy of it. I've
Well,
to
to be honest, I got really. I thought Mario teaches typing was hard enough.
no
What?
God, yeah.
God, it was horrible.
It's
What? So what was that on?
that was on Super Nintendo, but
No.
Japan. It's
Yeah.
Super Famicom, but it only come out over there.
See,
But
that's the stuff I'd
basically,
love on
yeah,
on.
use the mouse with
God, I'd
it.
love
And
that now.
so, example, there's a platform where you've got to go along along part, but there'd be spikes below him. But you've only got one block you can use, so you have to quickly put the block below him before he walks over it.
Oh,
Then you might click on him to pause him for a second, and then you put the next block in. So
yeah.
it's a bit like did you ever play Donkey? Oh, what's it called? Is it the Donkey Kong game where you got little wind up Mario's?
Oh, I know you mean. Yeah, I know you mean. Yeah, I
Um,
know it. Isn't
oh,
it just called Donkey Kong versus Mario?
oh,
Mario
that's
versus
it.
Donkey Kong. Yeah.
Yeah, think of that, but think of it as just like Mario, like constant walking. It's just
Yeah.
one character,
Also reminds
and
me
it
of
works really well. And you could use that with the
a
mouse
Krusty
and
Super
bring
Fun
that
House
back.
or something. But that would be those kind of experiences is what they could easily just create games like that, couldn't
Yeah,
they? Like
and they
that's
could
where
make
they
them
could
like
head to.
old style. Like that one, they could remake that
Yeah,
game in newer graphics, bit like they did with the Donkey Kong versus Mario.
yeah.
Re-release it as a new game
I
because not people
yeah.
don't know about it.
I think like I predict as a prediction here, right? And also you can throw your predictions out. I think they're gonna have some killer app for that. That is gonna be like vastly used.
Oh, what the mouse? Because yeah,
I think in the same way. Like I'm thinking, on the DS, what's the brain training or something like that. I think
oh
there's
yeah,
something going to come out for the Switch 2 that utilizes that mouse thing, maybe early on, that a lot of people are going to use, and that's probably going to get the Switch 2 into houses. I mean, that's a crazy prediction, but I feel like they must have
yeah.
something ready for it, and like it reminds me of the Wii because it's gimmicky like that. I
Yeah.
mean, it
Well,
isn't
it'd be good
as
for
gimmicky.
light gun shooters
Yeah,
using a mouse.
that's
They
that
do
too.
work quite well with those.
Yeah.
Um, I'm wondering if they're going to try and include it with using it with like more with websites and online
Yeah.
stuff to click on stuff easier.
Yeah,
Even though
that
you
could be
got
that as well.
touchscreen for it though. That's
I
the
don't
only
know how
thing.
they're going to utilize like where if you're out and about or if you're sitting on your couch,
Oh yeah,
where do you use the mouse
you'd be
on
like,
your leg?
yeah, like we like you're like,
I mean, I can imagine like I seriously, that's probably what they're thinking, isn't it? On your leg or on your arm or something like that.
Oh, you could kind of hold it. You could be
Yeah,
like
do
that.
that.
Like, with the Joy-Con and nunchuck, I wouldn't sit there like this. I might sit there like that.
Yeah,
And have like my
exactly.
arm resting there, one
Yeah.
arm here. And you could probably do that with the
And it
mouse.
sounds
And
absolutely bizarre, but honestly,
yeah.
with Nintendo, someone will come up with some
Yeah.
interesting, weird way of using it that we go, "God, that's fun," you know?
First-person shooters would be brilliant.
Yeah. Oh
Somehow
God.
use first-person shooters would be a good use with the mouse all the
Like, would
time.
you want like just I guess that point though? Would you want to play like a proper first-person shooter game with that mouse, and or a civilization game like a proper
Oh yeah,
RTS
like
or
point
something?
games. To be fair, when I've gone to like coffee shops and that, and I'm playing Tales of I, Iron of Tales, no Tales of Iron 2,
Oh, that's the one. Yeah.
because it's kind of like quite a hardcore game, a bit like Dark Soulsy with the movement. I don't like to hold the switch, so I actually been taking my Pro controller with me,
Yeah.
hooking it up on a little stand, and
That's
I'm
it.
literally playing it with my controller. So I can
Yeah.
see myself being in like a coffee shop. I would with the mouse if it was a game that worked better with the mouse than it did with the controller in
Yeah.
hand.
I'm
Just
I'll
not
put some
always
of this.
practical. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Right.
would, but
That's all of my things, and I've got a list of things that we can do proper predictions of. Is there anything else that like you thought about that you think that they might do,
Oh,
or you'd like them to do?
well, are we doing the actual what they're going to do, or what
No,
we'd like them
well,
to do?
I'm in a minute. We're gonna
Oh
say
yeah,
we're gonna go like what we both think the price is, what we both think the launch game's gonna be, what we think the date is, and I don't know. We need something else, but they're the three things I can think of that are the most important that we can kind of do a little bit of a, we'll both predict and see what we who gets it or whatever. But
The only other thing, last thing with what I would like to see, which again it probably won't happen, is it would be nice if you could like a PS4 and Xbox where you could stream directly from the Switch too. I
oh
know that
yes,
something that for people who don't have like OBS and PCs to play it on, a way you could stream a game directly from you could like a
it's a great
share
one.
button that you could stream straight from it.
Do you think that's what the C button is?
Well, that's what I was thinking. It could be
Yeah,
like a capture button where it could
capture.
be
Yeah.
press it and it like share and you could go online and share what you're playing.
Are they?
But
It's Nintendo, isn't it? Like if there's any other company, we go, yeah, that makes sense. Nintendo is so like behind of the companies, but with this, could they have caught up and realized how like important streaming is? That everyone wants to be a streamer. Everyone wants to capture footage. Everyone's playing Fortnite and wants to
yeah.
share like the gameplay with other people. And because they used to be against this and kind of go against
Well, they
streamers,
didn't even like people doing reviews on Nintendo
No,
products. Like Angry Joe used to do some videos on Nintendo, stopped because he kept getting flagged for using Nintendo stuff.
yeah,
And then what Nintendo brought out was a special license to say, oh, if you get this license, you're allowed to talk all about the Nintendo games. But again, no one wanted to do it. Why should I pay money to review a game
so
that's
they just
promoting
kind of
your
have to.
game?
So Nintendo don't know anything about that now anymore. Like with
They
reviewers,
scrapped it. They stopped it.
the
So
worrying
you're
thing
allowed
about
to
that,
do
just a
video
quick
reviews on
aside to
it.
this, is that because they brought that music app out, I'm
Yes.
always worried that they're gonna like start flagging people on YouTube if they're playing Nintendo games with the music
Yeah,
because they've
that's what
got
I
their
was
own
always
app.
a bit.
You know?
Well, apparently, if you're playing, they do. If you play Mario Odyssey, there's a song,
Oh, the actual
"Jump Up in the
yeah,
Air." That one
yeah,
gets flagged.
interesting.
That's the only thing.
Right, if there's nothing
Oh,
else,
that's it.
right?
No, I think that's it. Really, to be
I've got
honest,
three
you covered most of
things.
it.
Like, I mean, does there anything else you can add to this list? So, price, launch games, and date. And I put like accessories. That they announced. But do you think there's anything else that we could say set in stone, like if they will or not, or whatever, or something we can kind of like write down? Or do you reckon
That
there's three
that,
things at
that,
it,
that
really?
covers a big thing with the accessories. I think would be quite a good one
Yeah. So
to
that's four
include.
things. If you can think of one more, it'd be a nice round five. Or unless we just go for the four. I can't think of anything else, really.
Because they're kind of quite key
They're key,
ones
aren't
to
they?
it, really.
All right, then. So let's
Yeah.
do this. Price. What do you think the price is going to be?
I reckon it's gonna be more than the original Switch price.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Definitely,
Which was
because
what was that?
I've got it
Original
was.
price. Let's have a look. I think
Ooh, can we look it up? Yeah, I
yeah. I don't want
can't
to guess because I
actually
want to get it
remember.
wrong. Original Switch UK price.
because of obviously doing new tech in there, and they did go under on purpose on the Switch.
It was $279.99.
Oh,
Do you know what? I was going to say like 300 odd, but that's how much it was originally.
because they always tried to undercut the bigger other consoles. Like the Wii was quite cheap when it came out.
Yeah.
Things like that. So yeah, I think it's rather. It's gonna. I reckon it's gonna be. My price is gonna be. It's gonna be the awkward one where it's $299. You know, just under 300.
Do you think it's going to be $299? Just £20 more than the original Switch with an OLED screen?
350. Well, I would say
So
for me,
okay, I've already wrote it down. You think it's going to be $299?
No. Damn it! I was going to say it was between. No,
50p?
I didn't finish. I was going to say it's going to be between 300 and 350.
You got to no. Give me one.
Oh, damn it!
Give me one price.
No, I'm sticking with 300. No, I'm sticking with 300.
You're thinking 300, 299 or 300?
Well, no, it'd be 299.99. Okay. So you know they always like to be a penny under.
I'm gonna go for. I wrote this 389.99.
389.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be way more expensive. Oh. I think the price of like how much is a PlayStation 5? It's like way more than that, isn't it? And an Xbox and stuff.
But that's what
I think you would expect to pay something like that in this economy, like where the phone costs like way more.
Yeah.
And I don't think that like as much as that it is a lot of money, it's not a lot of money for a new console. If you sort of, I mean, if a Switch 2 came out for 300 quid, it'd be insane. It'd be,
maybe I want it to be that.
I know I would love it to be that, but I think it's going to be closer to 400, but not for me personally. I think it's what it's going to be. It just makes a lot more sense. And
a 480 sounds a lot cheaper than. 380 sounds a lot cheaper than doing 400, doesn't it?
Yeah, because how much is like a PlayStation 5 now?
I don't. That's the point. Thing is, I'm a bit out of touch with that because
exactly. But let's have a look. I think it's like way more PlayStation 5.
I was going to say it was. Was it like when it first came out? I'm sure it was like 600.
Yeah, but it's not about when it first came out. It's how much it is now, isn't it? You know,
so 5 something.
Oh, do you know what? PlayStation 5 digital and slim with Astrobot. I guess that's installed. It's $339. That's super cheap, isn't it?
See what I mean? See, like,
but the PlayStation 5 standard is also $457. Why is that $339? All the others like. I mean, is it a storage issue? Maybe it's a storage thing. Like it's got like no storage.
I think they don't really change the hard drive, but adding the disk drive does jump the price up.
Yeah, the slim one has got a disk drive, by the looks of it. That's $457.
Yeah, that does jump it to like 150 or something. But
Switch
crazy.
will not come out with like a version of a different version as we've been told about it. With
please have me a digital only version that comes out.
I don't want that. They could do that later on. The light version could do that, couldn't they?
The light could do that because
they might
I could see them doing that. Do a bit of a PSP style where you had the PSP, then the PSP Go was all digital only.
Okay, so a standard PlayStation 5, the 339 wants to throw me. I don't know why, but a standard one with the disc drive is $457. Then a standard slim with Astrobot that's got this drive as well. It's $430. But the Pro is $680.
Whoa!
I'm sticking with 389, and you got 299. Right. Yeah. Launch games. I mean, there's rumors going around that Mario Kart might not be a launch game.
Heard that the same, which is really bizarre when the first thing they've shown for the Switch 2 is Mario.
Too. I don't
believe it. I think Mario Kart.
I think Mario Kart and Metroid Prime. I think.
Yeah, do you know what? Games. I reckon they keep that quiet, and that is going to be. Yeah. That is going to be kind of. So you got the racer, your Mario. You have an action one. It'd be Metroid.
Yeah.
You know.
Go on.
Because they've gone quiet with that, so I think they will do. With released to an actual Mario platformer, I reckon that's not going to be out and released because even with the Switch, we didn't have Mario Odyssey straight away.
No, we had that Christmas.
Yeah, that was much later, wasn't it? You know, so I could see them, but I do predict there's going to be a game like Metroid. I could predict that being a release on the Switch and the Switch 2.
Yeah.
Just like they did with Breath of the Wild.
They could do that, couldn't they?
You know, they could do that.
Oh, do you know what? We didn't even talk about the enhancements in the games and the new versions of the games.
No, did we?
That's something. Do you think they're going to do that messaging in the new one about like have the enhanced version of like Breath of the Wild and all that stuff? Because that's definitely something they're going to talk about. That's definitely going to be something part of the Switch, but I don't know if they'll talk about it.
The problem is, when you look at what they've done in the past with like the DS and the 3DS, they don't enhance the graphics. They just blew it up bigger on the screen.
Yeah. So
I just hope they do upscaling and not just simply it just running. Well, it'd be the same resolution. It'd be the same screen size, wouldn't it? I guess, but.
So I'm looking at the launch titles for the Switch that came out, and it says on IGN, but I don't know why. Maybe the Breath of the Wild's not included. Oh, no, it is. Sorry, 1-2 Switch,
God,
1-2 Switch, Just Dance, Breath of the Wild, Skylanders, Imaginators, Super Bomberman Art. I forgot that was it. What's that?
Oh, yeah.
I Am Setsuna. Do you remember that I Am Setsuna? I think I bought that. It was a kind of an RPG.
Yeah, I bought that. Yeah, I bought that.
Snip Eclipse.
Oh yeah.
Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, which is the collection, isn't it?
Yes.
A Shovel Knight Spectre of Torment. I don't know what that is actually compared to the.
I think that's just DLC for it. I think.
So maybe it's DLC.
Yeah, another character.
Maybe because the other games.
Oh, has it got that snake one on there? I can't remember what it was called.
No, that came later on. I remember that one though. And
did it? I love that. Yeah.
Fast RMX. I think that might have been the.
It's like a Wipeout looking one.
So those ones. So I was thinking, did they have a big hitter like with Breath of the Wild? Because it's kind of following the same principles. If we're going to get another Mario later on in the year, would we get two big titles? Now I don't know.
Well, that's it. They're going to spread them out a bit. Like Zelda won't be for ages now. I can predict there definitely won't be a Zelda for a long time. Because, as I said, because that's the thing that's also quite awkward. If it does play Switch 1 physical games or digital versions of it, you can still play Tears of the Kingdom and stuff like that. And it's not looking, that's a bit ropey. No. We need new Zelda.
Unless it upscales it, but do you have to pay a fee for that? Or do you, as soon as you put your games in, does it automatically upscale it?
It could be like a patch or something that just do it straight away.
Did they talk about AI upscaling? That was a blog post I read a while ago. Something about that. So I don't know if that's like something, because I think with PlayStation, I think in some cases you have to pay for an upgraded version of it, like digitally, or some of the games.
Yeah. Even if the original version, you put it in and then it says you download this other version by AI. So some were free, I think, and others where you have to pay a bit. It depends how much it is. If it's like,
it depends, because if you've got Breath of the Wild and it's saying, you can upgrade the version, and then they put out a new version of that physically as well on the here's the Switch 2 version of Breath of the Wild. All those games you've collected, we're so made up, those games carry over. But if you want to play these games on your Switch 2 in an enhanced state, then you've got to pay for them again, or pay an upgrade fee so it enhances the cart, maybe, or just puts an enhancement on top of the I don't know, download.
I hope they don't do the thing where you download a whole nother version of the game.
That's what I'm thinking. Would it do that, or would it just take the game and add a simple patch ish? Could do that.
Yeah.
Is that something they're going to talk about? I think that's the fifth thing. Let's add that now. Do you think they're going to talk about
the way you can play the older games?
Do you think they're going to charge you for it? Because they're going to do it. They're going to allow you to play the games, but are they going to charge?
Thing is, so obviously I don't want them to, but it makes sense for them to do it, and I feel like they could do it anyway, because it'll pop up on the screen. It's so easy to do in-game purchases now. It's so easy to have a thing that say you load up the game and it'll say pop up and say, do you want to download the enhanced version of this?
And let's be honest, if they've done the work, they'll want to get paid for the work, because otherwise,
exactly.
For the amount of people we're going to use it, they need to kind of, I don't know, they need to justify it, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm going to say yes. I think if they talk about enhancements, I think they'll mention I don't think they'll say how much it'll be. They'll say they say for a fee, blah 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 blah. Or they'll just say it in such a way that kind of get the point across without saying we want your money. But they'll say something like those who choose to upgrade can do so, that kind of thing.
Or will they include it in another tier of the subscription?
That's a good point. I mean, it's not a question.
You've got two tiers already with having N64 and Mega Drive stuff to add to the standard. There might be another tier that say adds all enhancements of games.
Yeah.
As
That's they could do that, and it's not weird of them to add or like an odd little add-on because he's done that in the past where they've give you like Animal
Mario Kart
Crossing stuff.
tracks
Yeah,
and
Animal
the
Crossing,
seasons.
Mario
Yeah,
Kart. They're
yeah,
really weird with that stuff. So they could add something like that. That's a possibility. So I've put yes on both of it. If they
yeah.
mention
I'd
it,
say yeah. Sorry, it seems like yes.
they'll charge.
Yeah,
They'll probably charge on it,
I
right?
think so. I
So
think so.
launch games. Are we both saying Mario Kart? Even though
But
everyone's saying
I
that.
reckon it is going to be Mario
I think
Kart,
Mario Kart. Do you
or
think?
even a variation of it, like an online thing or something.
Oh, do you mean like some kind of like Mario Kart, like the way they did with that
like the
Metroid
mobile
game,
one type of thing?
like
But
a weird like just a simple Mario Kart before the big Mario Kart comes out. Oh god,
yeah,
that'd be weird, wouldn't it? Like a
that'd be
built-in thing.
yeah, it'd be a bit weird. But
No, I think they're going to
no,
release
I
Mario
reckon a proper
Kart,
one. Yeah,
and even though people are saying it won't be, I think they need to launch with that. I think they need to launch with a big title like that, and it's
yeah.
been what 10 years or something.
Yeah, and considering also even Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is not a new game; it's
No.
the Wii U one
Yeah.
with extra stuff in it.
Now,
So that this would, I reckon, this would be a big major update version.
do you think they launch with Metroid Prime as well, or do you think they launch with that later on? They launch that game a bit later on in the year and just go with Mario Kart? Because Breath of the Wild was a system seller, wasn't it? Mario Kart is a system seller.
Massive. Yeah.
Mario Kart
and
still
it still
is
sells well, and you can still go online
Yeah.
right now, play Mario Kart 8, and you'd always get a lobby full of
exactly.
people.
And that's what, because beforehand I was thinking Metroid definitely, and now I'm thinking actually it probably makes more sense for them to just launch with that big title with loads of other DLCs and
It's going to be, yeah, I think you could either bring out big Mario Kart, but the ones that will be on launch will be some type of just dance game for the people who love
all
it.
that stuff to
Love
show
that stuff.
that
You know, we don't.
Yeah.
There is other people that he's aimed at.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. I mean, I bought a Just Dance in the past. It was all right. But the thing with Just Dance, you just have to buy it once, and then you just buy the subscription fee, and then you just download all the songs. So
you get other songs that way, innit? Yeah.
Right.
Do you reckon it'd be a party type game on release? It'd be like a download.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Like, well, I think the question for the launch games, right? You both say Mario Kart. Do you think they're gonna have another top tier game launch? Because I think if it's like a 1-2 switch. It could be like another 1-2 switch,
it's
but I don't think they would class that.
One of those. It won't be a major game because
it needs something to showcase the new gimmicks and of the Switch 2. Like the mouse, like the 1-2 switch kind of was perfect for that as much as you like it or not. It was doing that. Wasn't
with the HD Rumble with the balls inside the Joy-Con. When you do this with it,
exactly,
it felt like the balls were rolling.
And here's the thing, right? You have that luxury when they have like the launch titles where no matter what you bring out, people will buy.
Because you got no other choice. That's all you've got.
Exactly.
Well, I bought a 1-2 switch. I played
it
twice.
Would you buy 1-2 switch 6 years in? No, you wouldn't. But you buy it on launch day, so it kind of makes sense for them to stagger their launch titles. Like
Metroid. They're not going to go crazy.
No.
Like a lot of releases, because in your head you always romanticize when a new console comes out of all the good games that come out way later.
Yeah.
But in your mind you think, well, that like Mario Odyssey. Like, if you didn't know about the Switch and you got the Switch, you thought, oh, I'm playing a great launch title, but that was way later.
Exactly.
And the Luigi's Mansion ones and things like that.
I think they're just going to talk about Mario Kart, like a lot. They're going to talk about the game that's like 1-2 Switch to showcase the system. But I'm not saying that's
the party game, I reckon.
Exactly, party game. I don't think that's going to see that as a top tier. I think the mention of Metroid Prime will be like that. They'll talk about extensively and how it uses the system and how you can use the mouse to scan things or whatever in the background.
Yeah.
There'll be something like that. That'll come out. It's like September or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe later on, or maybe even July or something, whatever. And then they'll talk about the Mario game as well, and that'll come out in like October, November. I think that's going to come out then.
Yeah, because you want that sort of late period, at the end of the couple of months.
And any of the other gaming talk, where they're not talking about Nintendo, they'll talk about what else the system to do. They might even show Elden Ring on it or something, something crazy like that. Or
they might go show something a bit more powerful on it, just to really show what it can do on it.
They'll have a big screen with all logos on it. That will be like, oh my god, they'll do that. We go, and these are some of the other titles coming up, and you'll see like,
that's what they do. They won't really talk about it, just like plus all these different logos.
And you'll see GTA 6 there, and you'll go, what? Everyone makes what the hell? Everyone will lose their minds. What the hell? How was that possible? I think we're just going to put Mario Kart on there. I think it's the launch title is Mario Kart.
I think it is, even though people say it's not. I reckon it is.
I think it is.
It'd be mad not to, because everyone loves it. I know people will still play Mario Kart Deluxe, But I think they do want to venture into that new one because they could do brand new DLC stuff, buying all the levels again or things like that.
Yeah.
And they, I still reckon they're gonna.
I'm just saying so the launch date of the Switch 2, Switch 1 was March 3rd, 2017.
When was it announced though? Before that?
January. It was announced in January and then came out in March a couple of months later.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a Friday. It came out, by the way. I was looking for the day so we can kind of look at it. So I want us to put a date down. So it's going to get announced in April.
Okay.
And I reckon 100% you're going to be able to pre-order straight away. It makes sense, doesn't it?
After this presentation, pre-order your Switch at your local retailer.
So what are you thinking for the date? Because everyone's saying like, it could be like at the end of April, it could be May, it could be June. They seem to be the months.
Yeah, people keep putting towards the summertime, don't they? With like the June, July stuff. My one. I don't know why I'm fixated on this. I reckon November. I know it's way late. I reckon November. I don't know why I've got this weird feeling it's going to be November, towards Christmas time
This year.
Yes.
Yeah, this year. November. What?
Oh God, yeah. It'll be November this year.
Give me a number. November what?
A date. Oh.
Do you want me to give you Fridays? Since he did last Friday, let's go for Fridays.
Yeah, I reckon, Friday. Oh yeah, go. Yeah, Friday.
Let's have a look. Well, Friday you've got. If we're just going to be fair because the last one launched on a Friday. You might not launch on a Friday, but we got to pick a day, haven't we? So you've got 7, 14, 21, 28. What do you like?
14th.
Right. So can I just go over this right? So you think?
You
think Nintendo's going to release the Switch 2 with Mario Kart in November, and then in the same month they're going to release the new Mario game, and in the same month they're going to release Metroid Prime?
Oh no! No, we didn't talk about That's
because the game. How are they going to stagger the releases when it's like the console comes out a month before Christmas? I mean, you're going with it. It's fine. It's a good date. It's a date we've wrote it down. I mean, I can see your level of thinking. It's a good idea.
Well, because I was thinking they're heading more towards Christmas on its release.
Yeah. The original one was released in March.
Because I don't think they're going to copy. They ain't going to copy the same thing as before.
You don't think they're going to copy the Switch 1, which worked for them, and they're doing a Switch 2? They're not doing a new console. They're doing a Switch 2. That's what I'm thinking. I think they're going to do something very similar.
They're going to try and do the same sort of release.
I think they're going to do a couple of months afterwards. But it's up to you. But I just think
the reason why I'd say a later release for not with the
your
other
predictions
software.
are nuts. By the way, $299 for a start, and November 14th.
I would love it if I was
a month before Christmas, and it would be amazing. We're both saying Mario Kart. We're both saying that it's going to charge for enhancements. But I think number 14
the reason why I also say later in the year, because they've still got a load of Switch special releases still coming out. They can still
come out, and they can work for the Switch 2 as well.
Yeah, but it's like, and obviously they've got a lot of inventory of old Switch stuff still available.
And apparently, loads of Switch 2s have been shipped into America already. I can't imagine them sitting there all the way till November.
Yeah, I think I heard the same thing with the original Switch, didn't it? When people were saying it's available.
Why is it there? I mean, you do that later on. I mean, you can change your date. I'm not trying to persuade you. By the way, you might be right.
No.
I just think like we just want to
talk about staggered. I've got no logic. There's no logic. I just think November. Right?
I'm just saying, we talk for ages about how they're going to stagger the releases, and you went, I think they're really going to release it right at the end.
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
I don't think.
How can you stagger the releases?
I don't think then we're going to get a mainline Mario game outside of Mario Kart this year.
Oh wow!
No, definitely not. No, I reckon it's going to be Mario Kart is a big release. Again, I'm gonna die on that hill. I'm gonna say November, and it'll be the Mario Kart will be the big game release for it, and then we'll have other games that are out leading up like in that month, but not big games.
In November.
And then I reckon we're gonna get like a new Mario game or something like that, a platformer one.
Q1 next year or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I can't see that. I think why would they announce the Switch like now, like last month? Why
The
would they
thing is,
announce
though,
that
we have got
early?
that experiencing coming up soon as well,
Yeah.
where it's not just talking about it. They'll be on.
Why would you test a Switch and then go, yeah, you can play that in like 8 months or something? I think that, and I think about all the dates are all very close together, and it makes me think it's going to be because it's going to be released like to the public afterwards. Otherwise, he'd have it all the way through the year.
That would be.
Can I tell you what I think?
Move on to yours, and then I'll come back.
Right, mine's more wishful thinking because my birthday is June the 26th this year, and which
Right.
is a Thursday. I think they're going to release it June 27th. Or the week before, because I wanted the week before so I can get it ready.
They're going to call you up. And go. It's right. We release it then.
Mine's stupid.
Actually,
I'm not basing on any. I'm not even thinking about mine. I'm just going. I think it's. I don't think it's a Christmas release.
Mr. Stinky edition.
I think it's June the 20th. June 20th.
Okay.
I think it's probably going to be earlier than that. To be honest, I think it's going to be the start of the month. Actually, should I change it? I think it's going to be June 6th.
No, you wrote it down. I saw you write it down.
Yeah, well, I'm changing it. June 6th. June
This ain't
6th.
traitors. You can't just scribble out your name after they call you up.
I can. I have the pen. June 6th. That's what I'm gonna go on. I think it makes sense. You've got all the. Oh, actually, when's all the testing going on? When's Danny's testing? Is that before or after? Is that in May?
What, the experience thing?
Yeah.
That is. That's very soon, isn't it?
Or is it in April? Is it actually in April?
I think it's actually. I'm trying to quickly go through my diary. Was it April? Oh God, I can't find. Did I put it in the calendar? I don't know when it. I have to quickly look it up.
But it's over these months, isn't it? It's over these months. I think like we're missing it when we come back from Canada. It's like then. So I think
it's very close.
It's very close. I think for me, June makes sense because they give enough time for people to pre-order it after it's been announced. They give enough time for maybe another update just beforehand to talk about like the enhancements to the actual shops and all the actual software itself. The first one's just going to be, look what you can get, all these fun things. Then they'll go a little tiny bit more technical about the stuff they can get, and they'll announce Mario Kart with some party game, and everyone will go, I want to buy that. And then June it comes out, boom, it's the summer because they want everyone go into the summer holidays to be like, with the Switch 2, all that stuff. All the kids will have the Switch 2. It's going to have Fortnite on it, and the Fortnite's going to have some extra special add-on that you can use them out. I don't know, whatever you can do with it. And Metroid comes out like maybe just at the peak of summer, going into like the fall, and then Mario is just in time for Christmas because it's like another signpost of like news. That's why
you reckon a new Mario will be out in time for Christmas?
100%, yeah. I think that's the thing you pre-order. I totally think it's going to be Christmas.
But I'm glad we've got these opinions though, because one of us would go, I told you so.
Do you know what it is, right? Because I was always like apprehensive about I love Metroid. I don't think it's a launch title. I don't think it's a system seller. Mario Kart totally is. Mario is. I think like even Mario Metroid's in the middle, I don't think it's still enough for like the new fans, the broader fans.
Then look at the.
I think Mario is.
He hasn't. They haven't always had Mario as their flag game on a launch one. Well, no, Zelda, GameCube, Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But it's like it's those characters though, isn't it? Those characters are incredibly iconic.
Oh well,
as much as I love Metroid, it's not that caliber.
No,
it's more niche. I love it so much, but it's not Mario for that broad audience. Mario Kart it's been proven because it's still being played. Like, I'm actually shocked that Metroid is coming back and that, like, they're calling it Metroid 4. I thought they'd just go new Metroid series.
Yeah, just start over from scratch.
It kind of makes sense that they do that, you know what I mean? But again,
because unless you played but then you got the remaster first one on Switch, but we've still got 2 and 3.
Yeah, and they might announce that as like a 2-pack at Switch when they put the Switch 2 out, you know?
Yeah. It was a download if you got the game.
I think when they announce when Metroid 4's out, they'll also give you a way to play the other 2 games.
Yeah, definitely.
It makes sense.
Definitely.
But I think we're going to get Metroid 4 this year as well. I think they've said it's going to be this year. And then I think just before Christmas, just because otherwise, what's before Christmas unless it's the Metroid? I think they need that other game. Like next year, I don't know what they're going to do. Next year is going to be a new Super Smash Brothers or something like that. You know, some or Animal Crossing or whatever they want to do. One of those big games.
Oh, definitely an Animal Crossing one.
There you go.
That definitely
That
will
could be announced this year. That could be announced this year,
That
couldn't it?
could be, yeah. That
That
could be
could be the
because
one. That's massive, isn't it? I mean, when was the last one? The last one was a Switch one, quite early on.
And the thing when that one came out on the Switch, that was a different circumstance because that big thing happened in the world. I won't say the word because I don't know if it is on YouTube stuff. But you know, when that all happened, that came out around that time, and it did really well because it come in at a bad time in human life, but a good time.
It's
in
got a
gaming
really
life.
good source of community building around it, and I love that about it. Like that's a game I would delve into this time around at the start because it feels like one of those games now where you jump in and be overwhelmed by the amount of people talking about how many bells you've got to collect or whatever, you know, all that stuff. But it'll be fun. Like I'm all in on the Switch too. Like you probably guessed that already, and I think you are as well. By the sounds of it, I'm all in, but I'm so excited. I just these predictions are really coming from like an emotional side of me. Like I want it all now, you know.
Yeah, you want it as soon as possible. But I just feel because
November 14th for the Switch. So God, that'd be horrible for me. I don't want that to be true.
Well, I don't know. I don't want it to be true. To be fair, because it's quite late on. But
it'd be good for people to save up for it.
So the other thing is as well, my side of it is that I'm going to stick with November. I don't want it to be November, but I'm sticking with because the Switch is still so close to Switch 2 with like the overall appearance of it. It's not as massively drastically different, and it playing old Switch games. I feel like they still want to just phase out the Switch 1 a little bit more. Just do the last little bit of it. Because they've got like all the Joy-Cons and everything. And because people still buy the old Switch for now, even though they want them to buy. I want them to recruit, what's the word in? Reclaim or whatever, like the cost of all the additional Joy-Cons that are out there and Switch editions to kind of get that inventory finished.
Okay, yeah.
Or you just get the Switch 1 at a new bargain price.
I mean, I think they're still going to be releasing Switch 1 games all year. I just think they're going to like phase it out by having the messaging. You can also play it on the Switch 2.
Yeah,
I think that's what you do. Like, there's a lot of these games are only coming digitally as well. Like, you know, the likes, or we don't even know they're going to be physical releases. Like, you know, the likes of Shinobi and Ninja Gaiden, all those ones.
Oh, yeah, we don't know. Yeah,
they're probably available on both digitally. So I think they're going to coincide for. I think the Switch 1's going to have a bit of life. Go on.
Oh, did you say about is it going to be 2 versions or so available?
Yeah, models, yeah.
Models. Like, will there be a different Joy-Con set, like a black set?
A different colour set. All right, should we put that as a six different models then? Do you think did they announce that quite early on? Didn't he, about the different sets with the different colours? Pretty sure. Because I got the normal set, and I kind of wish I got the different colour set.
Oh, straight away there was the grey set, and then you had the blue and red set.
So do you think they'll do that? I think they will.
I think they will. Yeah. I think there's going to be.
It'll be a quick aside, like, oh, we'll have what version with this colour and this colour, and that's it. They won't say like, oh, one's better than the other. It's just like
Oh no, they'll be exactly the same, just colour variations.
I'm going to say yes for that then.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the last thing is accessories. Do you think they're going to announce a Pro controller, or do you think they'll leave it?
I can't remember how quickly the other Pro controller came out on the Switch. I feel that they bring out a load of the typical accessories. There will be a which they already showed it, didn't they? Like where your Joy-Cons go into that other controller, like the fake controller.
That comes with it,
I reckon they can stick with that for a little while. I don't think the Pro controller will be announced for a little while later.
No, I don't. I think they want to concentrate on our controls good enough.
Yes, they will, because they want to use those more. But third parties will suddenly appear out of nowhere.
What about cases and things like that? Like, would they announce a case, or would they don't even mention that?
What would be nice is if they it comes with a basic case in it. Like a pouchy type one, but I think that won't come out for a little while yet.
Yeah, I think they're going to concentrate on what's the actual unit itself.
Mostly on the unit. The only thing that would be quite good, they said they announced one crazy accessory, like a camera add-on.
Oh,
a bit like the PSP, where you put the camera on top on the USB-C port.
And then they could do that because it would be the right time to say this is what the Switch 2 can do. Oh, with this added extra, you can, do this. They could do that. I don't think they will. I think they're going to keep core messaging about like the games you can play on it. I don't know though. It's a good question. It does But I think the mouse thing is the thing they're going to like talk a lot about.
Yeah.
I
I'd
don't
hope
think
they do a better job with that and not do with Switch 1, 2, 3, where you had the infrared and
yeah,
they used it for like one thing and
yeah,
no other
exactly.
game. But then it all comes down to the companies that do want to utilize this feature.
Hmm.
But a mouse feature could be a lot more accessible than the infrared sensor on the controller.
Yeah, true.
So that could be, they could implement mouse control. There could be an option in a game that says, do you want to use the Switch mouse or standard control? Like when you turn motion controls on and off, where you're moving the Switch about,
Yeah, that could
it
work.
could be like an option to turn that
Yeah,
on with the mouse
yeah.
or something.
God, I really hope they use it. So we're going for both for no for
Sorry, yeah.
the go no for accessories then.
I'll say no for accessories at this moment in time.
I mean, we kind of know like there's a little bit of a leniency there. Like we can say like the stuff that you get with it is fine.
Well, you've seen the stuff in the initial release. I mean, like like the
Anything
bigger
that comes with it
series,
is
Pro
normal.
controllers.
But we're not talking about not third party. We're not talking about like a pro controller. Or
Oh
like
yeah,
they're not announcing things like that yet. I think they're one right. So this is what we've got. So for the price, you've said $299, and I've said $389.99. We both went for Mario Kart for the launch title, the only top tier launch title.
Yes.
For the date of it being released, you've said November 14th, and I've said.
Look, just be open-minded.
I think you're absolutely nuts. I mean, you might be thinking I'm nuts with June 6th. I'm just as wishful thinking for me. I'm coming for an emotional decision because I want it just before my birthday. We said no extra accessories because we're going to focus on this core unit, which makes sense. Or anything that's in the box, you know what I mean? Not you have to buy separately. Are they going to charge for enhancements if they show them off? Will there be some kind of messaging about charging for enhancements? We've both went yes.
Yeah.
Even though they might not directly say it's going to cost this, they'll use some kind of wording to let you know that it will be a cost involved. And the last one, will there be different models? And that just goes as far as like, will the Joy-Cons be different colours?
I reckon 2 models, and 2 different coloured Joy-Cons.
Dead simple.
Options.
Like dead simple. You can see on the box. Yeah. That's it. And it doesn't do anything else. Like, we're not talking about the storage or like that. We're just doing that. There you go. I think that's a good little prediction thing to see how right or wrong we are when we come back to this.
Yeah.
So, we'll go to the questions now. Just a couple, okay? Because we've went over it again, but it's fine.
And also, I have to say, everyone, thank you so much for everyone that always submits questions, because I thought this was going to be one of these awkward bits where we'd be like, oh, we've got no questions this week.
No, we do get them. We do get them.
Always get them. Always get them.
You get more than me, so guys on my stream, you need to ask more questions, because Puncher's had more questions from his stream, so we need more from you guys, okay? I want to see your weird questions. Not weird questions, in general. Maybe some weird questions.
Not have to be just to be about games. It could be about
anything, really. Right, here's one from Jamie, which I've shortened a bit because it was like a bit of everything, but I've just shortened it so we can kind of like chat about it. So this is from Jamie. Favorite 90s lunch boxes and cereal or crisps freebies. What did you have? So there's still a bit of everything there. Like, what about? Did you have a lunchbox when you were a kid? Do you remember?
Yep, I used to have one, like a themed plastic one. Things I can't remember the exact ones I had, but I have a weird memory that I probably had a mask one.
Yeah, I keep thinking of the mask.
I had. I keep
thinking of that as well. I think it's because I keep seeing it everywhere, and I'm like,
that's the only problem. We watch a lot of toy stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like, did I have that? I do remember some kind of Mario one as well. I don't know if I had that, but it's in my head like a Mario one. But because I remember when I was a kid, one of the things in my pack lunchboxes was Walker's Crisps, which were at the time with Mario at the time. And I remember being obsessed reading the back. And I'm thinking, did I have my lunchbox as Mario as well? Because I remember having those crisps. So talking about crisps, like I was obsessed with that.
Yes.
And crisp freebies, oh my God, Tazos, Defo, they were like a big thing, weren't they?
Tazo was the instant things on it.
Yeah. £5 notes. Do you remember when crisps did that? Used to get like a little sachet, £5 notes. I won them a few times. That was pretty cool.
I won the odd one or two of those.
It's rubbish now.
You get salt in them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, salt. What the hell? About? But you don't get freebies in any of these things. Cereal as well. I was going about like Willow was like a film I loved as a kid, and there's like the little play set. You can collect all the little bits for this Willow.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
So good. And you remember
mine was the mask pencil toppers.
Mask pencil toppers.
As in, sorry, the mask, like the
Oh,
green,
I
like
was
Jim
gonna
Carrey
say.
looking one.
Oh, I don't remember
Yeah.
that one.
I
Those
remember
ones.
getting them, and also Monster in My Pocket were
Yes.
were serial ones, weren't
Oh
they?
god, there's some good cereal ones.
But you
There's
just don't get
so good.
nothing anymore with those sort of
No.
thing, because
There
they
was.
went through a phase where they used to put them inside the bottom of the cereal.
Oh,
To then later ones, I know they started putting it outside of the
outside,
box.
yeah. Because it
It's
wasn't
inside,
hygienic,
but
was
I
it?
mean the packet sort of thing.
Yeah, I miss that so much. Did you do that in America? If you're American, please let us know. Do you have like toys in your cereal still? Because we definitely don't do it over here anymore.
Yeah, I don't because I know like one child probably choked on it and then that was it. They stopped
Yeah,
doing them
that's
sort of
a
thing,
excuse,
and I
good
think
excuse
that's the
for it.
situation. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm sure I had a mask lunchbox. I don't know why. I figured that because I
yeah.
remember having the flask things, but I definitely didn't have like we see a lot of ones where they show metal ones. But I think
No,
that was
never had that.
older
I
than
don't think I
ours.
remember even having a thermos. You know the drinks thing. I don't remember having a
Oh, I
flask. What it
did.
is?
I
Yeah,
remember having a
yeah,
push bit for like a straw part.
yeah.
But again, I can't remember
I
that
can't
one. It
remember
was either
either.
that or Thundercats.
Oh god, that would be so good. I'd love
Could
to
be.
get them now. I
I
don't want to be
know. Yeah.
crazy with them. I just want to own a couple of them. That you put at the top of the cupboard or something like that. Just a
But
few
the
with the
thing
old
is,
ones,
I
got the
would ask my
tails and
parents to go, "Oh, do you remember what Lunchbox had?" They go,
no,
"No, I don't
no
know."
memories
They
whatsoever
won't
from
have
it.
any. They won't even remember I even had one. They're like,
Right, this one is from Gamer Sam, and he asks, "Do British people actually like eating baked beans for breakfast?"
now this is always a weird, always like weirds me out because I baked beans is not the same in America, obviously,
No,
but
it's not.
baked beans, I beans on toast. Oh, beans on toast.
Just say it. I might even have it tonight.
Breakfast.
Just want to
I know I could eat it right now.
right now.
Beans on toast. It was always an absolute staple of it, and then the full English with beans on it because
Yep,
the juice now.
gotta have
So,
it.
but then it's yeah. Oh, absolutely,
Or
100%.
beans with
It's a
like
breakfast
beans with
thing.
fish fingers, beans with
Oh yeah,
chips.
anything you can dip chips in with
Yeah,
it.
exactly. So it
Um,
comes with its own sauce. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But maybe that's what because I've heard this thing before. I think it's because they don't know what the beans because our beans are not like what the beans they have. I guess like I don't know the
there's
giant beans or something.
well, they've got no don't have like the sauce with it
Oh, the
and
sauce is
stuff.
the
I
best
think
part.
that's the best bit about
Can you
them.
imagine
So
having dry
yeah,
beans?
yeah. Ooh,
No, I don't know, thanks. I want dry beans, but yes, we
but it's
do, and
true.
we
Yeah,
love them. If you should try and get a can of Heinz beans or Branston beans, whatever beans you can get.
import for about $5 a can, probably
There you
because it's
go. It's
import
worth it.
tax.
Beans are
But
amazing.
beans on, I would say, first time you have them, beans on toast. You have
Okay,
toast, butter,
do
and
you put the
then
beans on the toast or next to this toast?
um. Right, okay, this is going to weird you out, right? So, yes,
Both.
if it's beans on toast, yes, but
What?
if I have like egg
Oh, interesting.
chips and beans, I
Yeah.
need it in a separate bowl.
No, oh, wait a minute. It's like a bowl.
Well, like a separate like pot or so. I don't have it on the same plate.
Oh,
They
that's
can't be
posh. That's
touching
too
the
posh for
chips,
me. That's like when you
even
go
though I
somewhere
put
and
them
you give
in
your
the chip.
breakfast and you give like this. Oh, I think that's posh when you put like beans in a little bowl. I have it on a plate.
I
I
don't
put it
want
up on
them
a
touching
plate.
other food straight away. I want to choose when they touch the food.
But you can be careful. You can put it like what was it? On Partridge has got a quote about it, like using the sausage. What's the sausage? I
The
can't remember who it
sausage
was.
is like the dam of the.
Yeah, it is the beans to the toast, and it's perfect. 'Cause it's true because you
It's
don't
true.
mind your sausage getting a bit beany because you like the tomato sauce on it, but it can make your toast soggy. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
issue.
and yeah, you want to build
But the
up to
sausage
it.
has got a tough exterior, so it can withstand that. It's
Yeah,
fine. So
yeah.
that's why you can do that with that. But don't have it in bread. It's bread. There's a lot of stuff going on here,
There's quite a
psychologically.
lot to that one
Right,
question there.
right. Anyway, let's move on. Recon asks. Oh, this is a big one. I didn't abbreviate this one. What has been the most difficult part of making a podcast that you didn't expect, and how do you feel making them now versus when you just started?
Oh, when I got the, I think that question might have been on my channel,
Mm.
but that was kind of, I felt that when it's come to this question, it's more of a focus to you because,
Oh,
like, my part of it, I feel more of just the co-host, and because I'm just here for when Steve says, right, we're going to do it on this date, and we do the podcast now. Once we film it, that's it. I go off and do other things, and it's all left up to Steve for this part. So
it's
this is more of a question to you,
it's
really.
what that part of there, right? We just said it's got. I say harder. I mean, it's harder because there's more stuff to do. But it's enjoyable because now I'm making clips. I'm making at least like one clip a week where I'll add B-roll and all that stuff. So it's more work to do, but it's same work. It's like something I want to do. So it's
Yeah.
like it just makes it, there's more things to do. It's in a different way. It's got easier because we kind of found our footing with it.
Yeah, we got a structure now.
The
Before it's been
structure.
like, how's it going to work? And
To be honest,
then,
though, we got there pretty quick. I think we kind of had a
yeah.
structure, and then we took a couple of things out, and we're still doing it now. We had that game thing, and I've completely forgot about that now. Because it just kind of take these things off. Also, because we go over it anyway without adding extra things, we need to take things away.
Well, we wanted to. There's so many things we would like to introduce. When we first was starting to do the podcast, I did do like bullet points of different subjects to talk about because I was worried about. Because the answer for this question for me would be that how's it got easier rather than the most difficult parts of making it, because again, like the news bit, well, I was always worried we wouldn't have enough news to talk about, so I thought, right, load of subjects to talk about our favourite games and that sort of situation.
To pad it out.
We haven't even touched that.
No,
even if we ever will.
We're kind of lucky because we're both chatty people, and that's, I mean, if one of us was quiet, we'd have an issue. Do you know what I mean?
Like, what do you think of this game? Is it going to be good? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
And that'd be it.
Yeah. Or just checking your phone all the time. Like, But from day one, it's been great for that. So it hasn't really got hard. It's just got more complicated, I guess. But it's got easier in a different way because we found different routes to record the podcast. And there's always things to improve. So it's like just an endless thing. I definitely want to include the audio quality, the video quality, all those things. But we got to do it enough times that we just you get there eventually. And we're only 15 in, and I think by the time
I feel that's mad. We've got 15 in.
I know exactly, but what was going to be like when it's 50 in? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's things that dramatically improve.
I do always worry, thinking, oh, I hope we have. I know we have enough to talk about, but I do always worry first thing. Will we be able to talk enough about a subject?
Oh, there's a lot of research you need to do, but we don't do enough research probably. But we've got a passion for what we're talking about, and we try and keep it as broad as possible because a lot of people will cover things really in depthly. But I always think there's a lot of people out there who just want to know the basics of what's going on. And we're kind of discovering it for our first time. When you got a bit of news on, you might add today, and I'm just sitting there reacting to it because it's news to me what you're telling me.
Yeah.
When we do this special Switch 2 announcement thing, I have already said to Linz, I'm not looking at anything to do with Switch 2 until I talk to you. And that's worrying because I don't want to get online and you go, uh-oh, it's all sold out or whatever.
But if it comes down, special situation would be...
You might message me.
The pre-order available, I would do it now.
Yeah.
But that sort of thing. Yeah.
You can message me and say, honestly, just do it now. And then at least, get me back for that. But I'm excited for kind of learning about that as I'm finding out rather than doing a bit of research beforehand because I want to react to that and have a video there about that. So
and also how much we're going to introduce Switch 2 stuff into, because over the podcast we just try and cover all aspects. Yeah. It's to be how we're going to integrate that with Switch 2 news.
Exactly. The podcast is. I always see Nintendo and Sega at that point as connecting to 80s and early 90s nostalgia. Yeah. I think Nintendo for me continues to do that. And on this channel, I want to have a bit of more of a Nintendo focus regarding the Switch 2. I just think it connects with me, and that's why that was as a passion. And we love talking about it. Do we talk about PlayStation or Xbox? Not really. There are other podcasts out there that have central themes around that. This is not that podcast. Okay. The next one. Last Chance asks, first video game or cartoon crush? Now, I've had a cartoon crush because I couldn't think of a video game crush.
Same. Exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Isn't it weird? Because we play all these games. There's nothing that jumps out at me to say,
you probably spent more hours on games with the characters than the cartoons.
Yeah. I can't even think of. I suppose people. You know what I've realised? Oh my word! It shouldn't come as an obvious thing, but playing Tomb Raider, the amount of people who jump in and just talk about Lara Croft in some way is insane. I kind of expect it, but didn't expect it to this level where people cannot go. I can't go a stream without someone saying something about how good Lara Croft looks in different ways of saying it. And I'm like, oh my God, guys, get a cold shower.
Well, that was why she was designed the way she was to be that sort of symbol
Yeah,
as
it kind of
well.
like that. Yeah,
It
I
was
get it.
90s. It was
I
90s, you know.
I get it. So like she's made like that, and I can't think of any other like characters in retro gaming that like male or female that have like been kind of lusted over. That's why I put Cartoon Crush because I can think about loads of Cartoon Crushes I had as a kid, like TV shows and stuff. But I realised he's Chitara in Thundercats, for example.
Oh yeah, especially
I
from the intro when they first appear
definitely
on the
she was
intro.
amazing.
Amazing.
Like She-Ra in She-Ra, Evil Lyn in I don't know what Evil Lyn's a weird one, but like
Because you
Evil
went
Lyn.
to the extreme to find someone called Lynn in your life. That's mad.
Exactly, my wife's
You went
called
to that
Lyn.
next level.
Exactly, but like
And do
looking
you
back,
actually call it that? You go,
you don't
oh,
realize when you watch.
you go,
You don't realize when you watch this stuff. Do
Lynn.
you? Just be a bit evil. You don't realize when you watch this stuff as a kid. There's something alluring about character. You don't understand your feelings until like, you
Yeah.
know. Wait a minute, I kind of like that in that weird.
My
irrational way.
one, I always thought that instantly was
Is it
Attack of the
cartoon?
Killer
Oh god, yeah.
cartoon.
Oh,
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. The Sisto turned into
is
a
it into a
human.
tomato? Oh yeah,
And it was the
tomato turns into a human.
episode where I read it way too
I
well.
remember it.
The episode where she become a vampire.
Oh my word, is she like blonde with the ponytail? Is that
Yes,
hair?
yeah.
Yes, I do remember. Yeah,
There's
yeah.
one she becomes a vampire in it, and that one I was like, I like her. I like her.
You were like before when she was a tomato. You're like no. When she was a human, no vampire.
Yeah. It was kind of like that. I don't know why. That was a weird time that I always instantly remember that one. But obviously there is something like Chitara in that. But that was the
Yeah,
first one.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
I've never heard that one before. Yeah, Just Show. Like I want to chase that up to see if it's like available on DVD or something. I used to like that show quite a lot.
I loved it. I never watched the
Never watched the films.
I didn't even know about the movie for the longest time.
Did you know there's like more than one movie? Someone told me that recently. There's more
didn't
than
know
one
that.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Like, okay, oh, fair enough. I've just never really watched them, and I don't even know what the tomatoes look like in the movie or anything. But the cartoon,
The cartoon is a bit like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, loved it.
I know it from that cartoon, and that's
it exactly.
in that line.
Oh, Dungeons and Dragons. I think I quite like Sheila. You're the one with the hood.
Oh yeah.
I think I liked her. I think I liked the power, and I thought like because when you're that age, it's not like a crush in a kind of like the way we see it as an adult. It's more like I don't want to be a friend. You know
well, it's a bit like how about you got the female villain in Captain Planet. I don't know her name.
I can't even remember her.
She's got like the highlight streak, like pink hair. And stuff.
Yes, I do.
I can't remember her name, but I liked her as well.
I liked her as well.
And when they kept beating her, I used to think, oh, I want to do it one day.
That's mean.
Yeah, it's mean.
I'll help you. Right, let's move on. Okay, last question. Rain and Cloud asks. Okay, if you were a character in a video game or movie, what genre and setting would you fit into most? God, that's a good question. Follow-up question: if you could buy anything laser disc related.
I wonder who that was aimed at.
Well, have you got a laser disc one first off? Because I'm not answering that. I'm not doing any. Although, I would love Labyrinth. I'd love Labyrinth as a collector's item.
Yeah. The one that I'm still after, and I want it, is the first Turtles movie.
Right, that's a good one. That's a brilliant one.
It is out there, but it really varies, and it's obtainable, but it's not cheap. And when I found one cheaper, there were scratches on it, and I wasn't sure, and I left it. So I'll wait until I can get a real nice one. Yeah. That's my holy grail.
Make sure it hasn't got disc rot on it. You know.
I've actually got some that has got that. Actually, I bought them like it. So,
you knew. Okay, if you were a character in a video game or movie, what genre and setting would you fit into most?
It makes it the worst bit is fits the most. It's like, well, technically, I probably couldn't handle anything. It was like, I want to be action. No, I'll be tired after 2 minutes.
A cozy like couch game, or something like that. Somebody go, like Animal Crossing or something like that.
I always loved in films like Hard Boiled, with the old dual handguns in there, John Woo style, a John Woo style one.
Yeah, that's cool actually.
But the one where is that like in the unexpected, because there's a couple of films kind of like that where they're not the most expected of the heroes type of thing.
Yeah.
So that's what mine was sort of being.
God, I don't know. I keep thinking of some kind of Metroidvania where I've got to I get I do things and I level up and get powers to get past things. I don't know why. I don't know what world that would be, but I do like the idea of that.
Because it would be, because I think Yeah, the action song for that one, but yeah, I'd say the upgrading stuff is quite.
Upgrade sounds
quite
cool, isn't it? And so they
creative,
can
isn't it?
jump over buildings and things. And oh God, I love the idea of that. Just like pure escapism, you know, something that's just completely
Something,
like,
something completely.
yeah,
You could say cozy things, but then current, in our life, we can do
yeah.
cozy things.
But I
But
suppose that's what wishful thinking, isn't it? That's what wish fulfillment. But what would we fit into most is the question. So
if it's that case, then
it's like what we would do. Like, I guess I do like music and stuff. I'm in a band, so I guess like some kind of
yes, that's good.
Guitar Hero thing would make sense for me in a way.
I don't have any talents. I don't know. That's a
I don't have
problem.
any talents.
I don't. I used to like doing a lot of drawing. If I could got back into drawing, something that
Mario
created
Paint.
something from drawing. Mario Paint, but not the music part. Definitely
Not
not.
the music
No,
part. Oh, the music. Do you know what? The music part of Mario Paint will be good, actually.
Yeah,
I
it was
would
good.
like that
But I
because
was
it's
never any
fun.
good
It's
at
a bit
that.
silly, and you can make songs. I think that I might fit into that. I think that's a good one for me. And maybe
Something that's creative or puzzle.
creative. Yeah,
Something I
creative
would
is a good
like.
one. Creative's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, like
I like
something
that.
sort of to drawing that would create something that come to life or whatever.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Thanks for the question. And if you want to ask us a question, please do so. Leave it down below or leave it on Spotify. You know, we'll reject that one to the blue moon. We should get an email address for this at some point, and then you can get some people.
Also, apparently, you can rate episodes on Spotify as well.
Wow!
So I've heard another podcast where they go, "Oh, give us 5 stars."
Is it out of 5 stars?
I think so.
You may as well just rate it 5 stars. Any less, and you scum.
There was sudden. Wait a minute, how have we got that low?
But guys, thank you so much for watching this. The next one of these is going to be like a spotlight special. We probably won't class it as a podcast because it's going to be haphazard and chaotic. And I don't know if you're going to stay up crazy enough in the morning. We don't know yet. You say you are.
I'm willing to.
You're willing to.
Yeah.
I mean, I can keep you messaging along the way because I'm basically going away in Canada, and when the direct happens, I'll literally be on a plane, and I could find out about it on the phone or whatever. But I kind of want to react to it on a video. Would you show me through the video and then kind of like all the excitement of that? I think that'd be.
So I might also, if I can somehow, maybe when me and Danielle watching it, try and record us reacting for the first time as well.
Oh, that's good. And put that on your
channel.
Have
some sort of reaction.
Yeah, you should do.
First bits on it.
That'll be quite good. That'll be really exciting. And
might be something there.
It's like Chris. So the next time we actually do a proper podcast for the 16th one, the Switch 2 will be real and be hopefully a thing that you would know a lot more about, and we know about the game. That's going to be exciting as hell, isn't it?
So what did you buy for your Switch 2 today?
Exactly. Yeah. It's going to be mad. That's what we're going to be talking about. God. Well, thank you so much for watching / listening, and I will see you next time in another episode of the podcast, episode 16 in the future. Bye-bye.
Bye.